You really like
can it?
John Miller and Mike Krukow back at Pacific Bell Park. The spectacular grand finale to the opening ceremonies here, as the crowd just went nuts as the fireworks went off and the balloons were released. And when the fireworks stopped, the crowd immediately began to chant, "Beat LA."
Well, with all the hoopla that's surrounding the ballpark, the fans certainly have not forgot the most important thing, and that is they gotta play the game.
Hey, the game's about to start. Hurry, get over here.
Looks like the Oklahoma Land Rush. All right. Well, John Miller, so far today, it's been spectacular. The weather, the atmosphere is absolutely perfect. And the one word to describe the mood and the feeling as you walk into Pac Bell Park, electric. Flat out electric.
Indeed, and all around the ballpark, we've met people who are in that marina here, the South Beach Marina, just to hear the roar of the crowd from over there. They don't even have tickets, sitting out on their boats. Davey Johnson at home plate with the umpires. Dusty Baker is just now making his way through the phalanx of reporters and cameramen who turn in his lineup card. So Dusty, who was a longtime member of the Los Angeles Dodgers and was on the other side of so many of these Giants and Dodger meetings as a player, but as a manager, he's gotten the best of so many of these meetings. Dusty, the two-time Manager of the Year in the National League, beginning in 1993, his first year, and starting his 8th year as the manager of the Giants. Davey Johnson, who's also won some Manager of the Year awards in his days with the New York Mets. He's had a lot of outstanding clubs over the years, beginning his 2nd year with the Dodgers, but under the gun, as there's a lot of talk of the Dodgers play as poorly in the first half of this year as they did last year, that Davey Johnson may not be around for the whole year. Yeah,
and that's really unlike the reputation of the Dodgers for almost a century. I mean, they would hang with their managers. Walter Alston was there for 24 years. Tom Minnesota was there for a ton of years, and now it's just, when you have a skipper of the Dodgers, you think that guy's going to be there for at least a decade. Not so anymore. New ownership, and they want results, and they've made it very clear that Davey Johnson has to produce this year, despite the fact that he has more years on his contract after the year 2000. And he knows it. He knows he has to win with his team.
So they're going over the ground rules, and there are quite a few ground rules to go over, particularly involving that right field wall and the home run areas. Now we're going to have the first ball ceremony, so let's go to Rennell Brooks Moon.
And now, throwing out the first ceremonial pitch at Pacific Bell Park, please welcome back Giants President Peter McGowan and Executive Vice President Larry Baer.
Peter McGowan, Larry Baer, the people who really were there every step of the way. I mean, from the first drawings, sitting down with the architects and saying, let's have this, let's have that, what can we do with this piece of property? I mean, you name it, and they've been involved with it. In fact, both of them got to the park this morning about 5 o'clock just to make sure that everything, all the last minute details were taken care of prior to this historic opener. The Giants are getting ready to take the field now, and members of the Junior Giants fan club have been selected to go out at each position to meet the Giant at that position as he takes the field. I believe the player will autograph the baseball that each one of them is currently holding. So an amazing day, beautiful weather, and down on the field during the ceremonies between the mound and home plate, even though we can see the flags being whipped around, there's a pretty good breeze blowing right now in the area. But down on the field, you could almost not feel any wind whatsoever.
Now, that's really going to be one of the trademarks of this ball club, or this ballpark rather, and that is that there will be no wind at home plate. We talked about the number of times we would come here during construction, be outside the ballpark and have your pant legs just whipping with the same wind you had at Candlestick, and you walk into this ballpark with a skeptic eye going, but when you get down to home plate, you'd light a cigar with one match. There was no wind. And folks, hitters like it that way. They do not like a wind in their face. That is definitely an advantage to the offense. But having seen this ballpark now through 5 batting practice sessions and a couple of games, it really seems to be fair. You have to hit it a shot to get it out between the gaps, the 365 sign in right and the Bud Light sign in left. Between those 2 wall marks, you got to crush the ball.
Who is that guy? Keeps buzzing us here.
I feel like we're in Shea Stadium. You get those all game, all year.
And Barry Bonds greets his new left field partners. Kirk Reeder takes the hill. Kirk pitched the exhibition game here, the first one, when the Milwaukee Brewers were in town. So he has some familiarity with that mound right now, unlike any of his Dodger counterparts today. The Dodgers batting order now brought to you by your Bay Area Nissan dealers. It'll be Devon White leading off in center field. Mark Bresalanek at second base. Sean Green, the former Toronto Blue Jay, 42 home runs last year. He also has excellent speed. He's an outstanding all-around player. Gary Sheffield with a badly sprained ankle, but he said it felt much better than yesterday, and he's making a go of it. And he has hit a lot of home runs against the Giants, more than he's hit against any other team. Geronimo Berroa, former Oakland Athletics player, at first base in place of Eric Karros, who's got some injury problems. Adrian Beltre, third base. Todd Hundley is the catcher, batting seventh. Kevin Elster, kind of a surprise. He was out of baseball last year. He is at shortstop, and the pitcher is Chan Ho Park. And on the mound for the Giants, Kirk Reeder.
Kirk Reeder, who is trying to get on track. His last outing against the Florida Marlins in Florida, he did not fare well. In 3 2/3, he gave up 5 earned runs, but he walked 5 against just 1 strikeout. And he knows that he has to have his command of the corners in order to be successful. Defensively behind Kirk Reeder today, the Giants will have Bonds, Bernard, and Burks in the outfield. Miller, Aurelia, Kenton, Snow will be across the infield. Doug Mirabelli will get the assignment here on opening day, and Kirk Reeder will be making his second start here at Pacific Ballpark. He opened it up against the Brewers in the exhibition game, so he really probably has more experience than any other Giants pitcher. And it looks to me, John, that he has handled the warming up responsibilities that can be so disruptive in an opening day series. He's handled it very well. He did not throw too many pitches down the bullpen, and he looks to me like he's ready to go. The key for Reeder is he's got to establish his sinker. And oftentimes can be a problematic pitch when you're throwing hard. So we'll watch his velocity early on and his downward movement. That is his key.
Devon White will lead it off. White, who was a hero on Saturday when the Dodgers overcame a 4-run deficit in the 9th inning at Shea Stadium and beat the Mets in 10 innings, 6-5. And the first pitch is outside for ball 1. 1:40 p.m. We are underway. 65 degrees, the official game time temperature. White, a switch hitter, batting right-handed. And that's up and away, ball 2.
Devon White, good low ball hitter from both sides.
And it is 2-1. In that ball game on Saturday, they did not play Sunday in New York. They got snowed out. Eric Karros hit a home run against John Franco in the 9th inning, and then later in the inning, Devon White, batting right-handed, hit a 3-run homer to tie that game. That's foul, past third, past Glenn Hoffman, the third base coach. And the ball due will have to go chase it. The count is 2-2 to Devon White. Again, we'll try and give you a tour of Pacific Ballpark. The dimensions, which are asymmetrical. Left field is the big field. shallow right field. Ellis Burks will have to play it on the bounce. And he slipped a little bit as he came in after that one. Base hit for Devon White. So the first hit at Pacific Bell Park is by Devon White, the first batter. Now Mark Bresolanic will come up.
A little nautical gridlock out in McCovey Cove beyond the right field fence.
Mark Bresolanic, who had his best year last year. Yeah, that's what Mike's talking about. Look at that.
That's amazing.
Oh, beauty. And it is 0-1.
And I think that's what you have to do with Bresolanic. He's a very good fastball hitter. Good, quick bat. Likes the ball above the belt. Good high ball hitter. He's the kind of guy who will swing as hard as you throw it.
He's hitting .250 for the year. In there, strike 2 call.
Another one of Reeder's keys is to establish the inside strike with a fastball. Cannot get away happy with tailing sinkers. Right-handed hitters jump out there and got to keep him honest with that inside strike.
White at first, no on the bag with him. And he curves him in the dirt for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, the crowd, and you mentioned the electricity that was all around, not just inside the ballpark, but all around the city, it seemed like this morning. But I mean, this crowd came in full throat. I mean, they came to make some noise. And the Beat LA cheers were happening well before the game ever started. Just like they used to over at the Stick. 1 ball, 2 strikes. White leaning over at first, not going. And he struck him out.
Now, he established the inside strike, and that opens up the outer half of the plate. He goes away. It's a little backdoor breaking ball, and he gets Bresolanic to chase. Bresolanic is not a kind of guy who likes to take a lot of walks. He likes to hack. He saw a ball above the waist, his strength, and went after it out of the strike zone.
All right, so there's 1 away. Now, does that have a calming effect, you think, on Reeder?
Absolutely.
Here's Sean Green, former American leaguer, first year in the National League. The fastball is too high now. Sean Green, last year, and look at that, first in the American League in total bases, in doubles and extra base hits, 5th in runs and home runs, 6th in RBIs. And of course, that's a league filled with sluggers, the designated hitter league, so he was one of the best sluggers in the American League. And he chases the high hard one.
And Reeder pitching to the scouting report. Sean Green, a good low ball hitter. Coming off to a sluggish start, hitting .240 with a couple RBIs. Not an easy thing to do when you come from one league to another league to get established and get off to a quick start because you don't know the pitchers.
And Ken Griffey Jr. off to an even slower start with his new ball club in Cincinnati. 1 ball, 1 strike. White at first, and he'll go back to the bag standing. Plus, with Sean Green, there's the added element of coming home to play. He grew up a Dodger fan in Southern California, and that's a little bit different than coming to the big leagues with the Blue Jays, with guys that he played with in the minor leagues. He may have had a little bit more of a comfort level. Toronto, he's got White picked off. Snow throws over to second. Aurelia has the ball waiting, and that is out number 2. Devon White picked off by Kirk Reeder.
Now, one of the things that Kirk Reeder did in spring training this year was study his movement out of the stretch. Thought he was getting a bit predictable with his foot. He's changed his knee and his leg, the way he's taking it back. And boy, he just fooled Devon White. Devon White was getting a break off the old Woody.
2 down, nobody on. And that curveball is low and outside. 2-1 to Sean Green.
You know, one thing unusual about Sean Green, he's 6'4", 200 pounders. That's a tall hitter. And he's a middle in hitter. He likes the ball on the inside part of the plate.
Well, he got one right into the hands that time and fouled it back into the second deck, and a fan made the barehanded catch just beneath us. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We mentioned this is a very lively crowd. And they're cheering everybody for everything right now.
That's a pretty good play, though.
He earned the cheer. Too far in. Full count now. Gary Sheffield, Dodgers slugger, is on deck. There he is, number 10.
He's been red hot.
2 down, 3-2 pitch. JT Snow. Reader covering, and the side is retired. And now we await the Giants in their first at bats in their new ballpark against Chan-Ho Park. Bernard Miller and Bonds coming up.
Oh, man.
The Toyota Tundra. It's the only full-size pickup with the I-Force V8 engine.
Okay, Steve, you're all set.
With all that power, you can't help but think big.
You do that in your house?
Laurel Lane used to be a very friendly neighborhood. Kids running around, you know, they'd see me, hey, mailman, you know. It's nice. And everybody started sharing the same cable line for the internet. And the more people, the slower it got. Now people aren't very friendly anymore. It's awful. It's like a war zone.
Web hog.
The internet is, once again, your friend. Call now for free installation and free modem.
Taco Bell introduces wild chalupas and wild gorditas covered with our hot and spicy wild sauce. A chunky, zesty blend of peppers, chilies, and other good stuff, just 99 cents for a limited time.
Excuse me.
Make sure you pick up a drink. Only at Taco Bell. How do you make the double-decker taco with its combination of our crunchy shell and soft shell even better?
I'm all ears.
You drop the price to just 59 cents.
Somebody pinch me.
59-cent double-decker tacos. Only at Taco Bell.
Today's baseball game is brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines. Log on for low fares at southwest.com, a symbol of e-freedom. And by Pacific Bell Wireless, reminding you to use your phone safely while driving.
Now the batting order for the Giants brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It will be Marvin Bernard leading it off in center field. He is in the book for having hit the very last Giants home run at Candlestick. It'll be Bill Miller at third base. Barry Bonds in left field. He has hit safely in all of the games so far this year. Jeff Kent second base. Ellis Burks right field. JT Snow at first. Rich Aurelius shortstop. Doug Mirabelli the catcher hitting eighth, and Kirk Reeder the pitcher bats ninth.
On the mound for the Dodgers will be 26-year-old Chan-Ho Park, 4-year veteran. And in 1998, this guy won 15 against 9 losses, had a 3.71 ERA, and he threw 220 innings. Last year, he stumbled. His ERA swelled almost 2 points to 5.23. And what happened was the league got accustomed to his stuff, and he just did not adjust off of what the league, or how the league adjusted to him.
2 highs is Ed Montague. 1 ball and no strikes.
Chan-Ho Park has a good fastball, average 93, 95 miles per hour. It's unpredictable movement, good hard curveball, split.
Shot foul down the right field line. Hello.
Look out. Okay. Everybody's all right. The guy who's had the best success against Chan-Ho Park for the Giants has been Ellis Burks. 6 for 14 lifetime with 2 jacks. And I asked him before the game what his approach was. He goes, you know, the guy doesn't have the kind of command where you can set up on one side of the plate. He just throws it. He says, just look ball and hack.
Looped into right, and Sean Green. There is one away.
Defensively for the Dodgers, they'll have Sheffield, White, and Green in the outfield. Beltre, Elster, Grozalanek, and Baroa across the infield. Todd Hundley will do the catching for the Dodgers. And Chan-Ho Park coming into this ball game with a 1-0 record, 4.5 ERA, trying to turn around the 99 season and get back on track.
Bill Miller, 6 for 19, a 316 average, and a fastball in there for a strike. You know, the other new ballpark that opened today in Detroit ended up a happy finish for the hometown club. Bill Miller gets the first Giants hit at Pacific Bell Park. And now Barry Bonds will stride to the plate to be introduced by Rennell, the new stadium announcer. Bonds hit the first home run in exhibition play, and what a monumental home run it was. Landed out in the bay off the port walk. It is 309 feet down the right field line, but then the wall angles out sharply from there. And the deepest part of the ballpark is an extremely deep right center, 421 feet. Down the right field line. Extra bases. And it takes it crazy hot. Green will have to go in the corner and chase it. Miller rounding third, being waved home. And Baroa will hold on to it. 1-0 Giants on a Bonds double.
All spring long, we've been saying about how quick Bonds' bat is again. He was turning around the inside high fastball all spring, and right here he gets one right out of bed and just spins on it, and it exploded off his bat. The ball had top spin on it, and that was a bullet. And watch the carom off the right field wall, and that is some of the personality of the right field wall.
Now, had that ball come straight out, it's very likely Bill Miller would not have been able to score. But it shot into the corner. Green had to go chase after it, and Miller scored easily. 1-0. The Giants have jumped ahead. Jeff Kent, the hitter. And that's a breaking ball for a strike.
Another thing, too, John, in that play, I think this ballpark's playing loud because Baroa had a play at the plate. If he would have gotten the cutoff, turned, and gotten a throw to Huntley, they'd have had plenty of time to get Miller. But I don't think he heard anybody give him any information as to where the play was. He had no intention of going home with it.
Kent chases the slider. 2 strikes to count to Jeff Kent. He's been the Giants' leading RBI man so far. 2 homers, 3 doubles, a triple, and 9 runs batted in, all in 7 games. But he's behind in the count here, 0-2. The other thing on that Bonds double I wanted to ask you, Troop, at his 93, 94, 95 mile an hour speed, I don't think Chan Ho Park is used to seeing many guys hit that high fastball up out of the strike zone as hard as Bonds hit it.
So true. He's got a lot of life up above the letters, and it's very difficult to get that top hand on the ball.
I mean, he wants the hitter to swing at that one, right?
That's his strength. That's a lot of strikeout pitches he gets with that one.
Another breaking ball, a check swing, and appeal to first base umpire Anthony Randazzo, denied. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jeff Kent. Bonds at second. The Giants in their new uniforms for the first time today. More of a traditional Giants look. The colors, it's kind of a subtle difference, but you can notice it. Instead of the all white, it's more of a cream color now. And that is the color that Mays and Cepeda and McCovey all wore when the Giants first came to San Francisco. Bonds at second. Grzelcyk, the second baseman, over close to the bag. The shortstop, Elster's way over in the hole toward third. High in the air. Now Green's got a great arm. Bonds is tagging. There goes Barry. Here comes the throw. It is not in time. Look out, Sonny.
Sonny Jackson running a little interference for Adrian Beltre. But you're right, John. Sean Green just showed it as to why he's got a reputation for a strong arm. He really throws this flat-footed. He doesn't have much momentum going into the catch. That is all arm. 1 hop strike, and hey, Sonny, where are you going?
And strike is the word for it. He looks like he's on his way to rolling a 300 game at the corner bowling alley. Now here's Ellis Burks, trying to get that clutch 2-out run home. Bonds the runner at third. The Giants ahead 1-0. The first Giants hit, a 1-out single by Bill Miller. The first Giants RBI here at Pacific Bell Park on the subsequent double by Barry Bonds. 2 balls, no strikes.
One thing about Chan Ho Park is you can rattle him. He's got rabbit ears. A little hot-blooded, and you can get under his skin.
That slider on the outside. Well, he refuses to give in to Ellis Burks there. Behind in the count, he still threw him the breaking ball.
He knows Ellis Burks' history against Chandler Park is very good. 6 for 14, a couple of homers, double. And I'll bet most of those hits have come off fastballs out over the plate.
JT Snow on deck. He would be next. Bonds at third. And another breaking ball. Tapped foul over to JT Snow. Hoping to bat here in the first.
That's respect. Guy's got a 95-mile-an-hour fastball like Chano Park, and he's afraid to throw it. That tells you something about Burke's ability to hit a fastball.
Two down. Burks trying to pick up Bonds. Ellis hitting .333 with 2 home runs in the young season. 2-2. He has not seen a straight one yet.
Well, one thing Burks will not do, he will not guess fastball. He won't guess anything. He just picks the ball up out of the hand of Parks and goes after it. So you would think after 5 breaking balls, he's certainly set up for a fastball inside. Fastball anyway.
Hundley moves to the outside. A fastball misses. Full count now. 3-2 to Burks.
He does not want to come across the plate with a fastball.
339 feet to the left field foul pole at Pacific Bell Park, and then 382 to left center. Bonds away from third. Breaking ball off the hands to shortstop Kevin Elster, and that is the inning. But the Giants respond immediately to the big crowd in their new ballpark. Bonds drives in the first run. 1-0 Giants.
I like the likes of you. I like the things you do. I mean, I like the likes of you.
Michelin would like to remind you, there's only one safety feature on the road that actually touches the road. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Hi, how you doing? Here you go. Thanks. Yes, sir, you've got it.
Regis, I've never done this before, but I'm such a huge fan. If I could just have an autograph.
Sure. So who?
To Jim.
Jim.
It's Beverly, the little lady from Washington Mutual.
Everybody? What about Regis? This is out of control.
Let Washington Mutual make a fan out of you. Washington Mutual. Join the club.
And if I need more disk space, I have a 15 gigabyte 1334 link external drive.
Well, we've got a larger trunk with 17 cubic feet of storage space.
And a raised roofline for more headroom.
Space. Just one of the things well covered in the all-new California Edition Ford Taurus.
I got the dishes.
The California Edition Ford Taurus. Thousands less than Camry, and now with 3.9 financing and $1,000 cash back. A smart choice from your Northern California Ford store.
Well, tomorrow night, the Giants are going to take on the Dodgers at 7:05, and the first 40,000 fans receive a magnet schedule courtesy of Sanders Valve. And then Saturday, the first 15,000 kids 14 and under will receive their very own Major League Baseball card binder with a few sample cards and sides. Then the homestand concludes on Sunday. First 30,000 fans will receive their very own calendar courtesy of Cragen Auto Parts. So we'll see you at Pacific Bell Park. Come out early.
I think that's the best idea. Get here early, and it seems to me like people enjoy getting here early. They just enjoy being here. And Gary Sheffield takes 2 low for ball 1. Now he sprained his ankle going for a fly ball at Shea Stadium in the game on Saturday, and he sprained it very badly, and it was what they called a high sprain, and at first they were afraid Sheffield might be gone for weeks. That is a base hit. Rich Aurelia made a try for it. Sheffield is aboard. I talked to him before the game. He said that yesterday it felt better than it had felt over the weekend, but today it was a dramatic improvement. So he told Davey Johnson that he was ready to give it a try. The thing he was concerned about was actually playing left field, what his mobility was going to be, and that still may end up being a problem for him. But he said he really didn't see any problem with the hitting, and already he's demonstrated that. Here is Geronimo Berroa.
Now, I think that Kirk Reeder had a lot to do with Sheffield getting well. Sheffield's 11 for 21 off of Reeder. And before the game, we thought that Eric Karras would be in the lineup. He had a stiff back yesterday, didn't work out. And Sheffield would not be. It was just the opposite.
The changeup in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Berroa. This is a guy, former designated hitter with the Oakland Athletics, and he got a ferocious swing. One of those real active, menacing looking bats between pitches. And he can hit the ball a long way. Off the outside. He's substituting for Karras today. So you know Karras has to really be hurting, because this guy never misses a game. But on top of that, he's missing a game against a pitcher that he has really hurt over the years. 3 home runs for Karras in 21 lifetime at bats against Kirk Reeder. To third. This could be 2. Miller to second. 1. Kent to first. 2. Double play.
Oh, that wasn't even close. What a great turn from Jeff Kent, who got an absolute strike from Miller. Miller gets the ball as quickly as you can to a second baseman, right up around the chest, right where a second baseman likes to get it. And everything about this play is just perfect. See ya.
Adrian Beltre now. 2 down, nobody on. The Giants lead 1-0. Second inning. Ball 1 to Beltre. Hitting .400, 10 for 25, including 1 home run, 2 batted in. Very young player. And I think that he's got a chance to be a superstar. Jeff Kent, plenty of time, and the side is retired. 2 times the Dodgers have led off the inning with a single against Reeder, and then nothing. JT Snow coming up. 1-0 Giants.
How do you enhance a V8 engine that produces 245 horsepower? A chassis that can haul up to 2,000 pounds? Or brakes that have 4 piston calipers? Simple. Add about 6 pounds of steel. Toyota Tundra, Motor Trend Truck of the Year and 4-Wheel and Off-Road Magazine's 4x4 of the Year.
Taco Bell introduces wild chalupas and wild gorditas covered with our hot and spicy wild sauce. A chunky, zesty blend of peppers, chilies, and other good stuff, just 99 cents for a limited time.
Excuse me.
Make sure you pick up a drink. Only at Taco Bell. How do you make the double-decker taco with its combination of our crunchy shell and soft shell even better?
I'm all ears.
You drop the price to just 59 cents.
Somebody pinch me.
59-cent double-decker tacos. Only at Taco Bell.
Okay, we're on a test drive. We're going to check all the mechanical parts, brakes, drift, transmission, no vibration, no rattles, no wind noise. The AC temperature, we're about 6 degrees off. We like to get down about 42, and this is at 48, so we'll take it back and have them check the coolant. Good solid ride.
Well, we don't know what you have heard about the availability of tickets.
I heard they're all gone.
Well, you have heard wrong. There are a few available for the August and September games. And if you are interested, call 877-724-1001 or 510-762-BALL.
I heard they're all gone.
Oh, no. Plus, there's 500 every day going out.
I told my wife, I said, listen, don't even think about it. But apparently, I'm wrong.
Oh, she can come here and stand in line, because if she likes a bleacher seat, you can get one of those.
And that's every day?
Every day. And you can buy some for August and September right now. And it's a hot ticket.
I mean, those bleachers, to me, those are the best bleachers in baseball. Now, JT Snow, first ball swinging out in right center field. Sean Green. And there is one away. Now, make no mistake about it, the wind is blowing, and any ball that's hit way up in the air like that one is going to dance a little bit. One gone. In the Giants clubhouse before the game, the brand new uniforms ready to go. I mean, Murph had the place looking like a museum before the game.
Yeah, it was.
Everybody was afraid to touch anything.
Mike Murphy put a lot of hours, as did everybody else involved with the Giants getting this place ready.
Yeah, I think the day that the Giants had a game with Oakland in Scottsdale and then a night game over in Peoria in the spring, after that second game that day, that's the last time that Mike Murphy actually has slept.
Yeah, he didn't need much sleep.
Thank God.
Give him a couple cigars. He's fine.
See, Krug, I want to get a boat. You and I are going together. Get a boat out there. Rich Aurelia, left field, Sheffield, battling the sun, and that is going to be a story forever here. Dusty Baker said before the game, probably the only other ballpark where left field is such a harsh sun field is Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, and you saw Sheffield battling it right here.
Going back, really thought he had a pretty good read on it all the way, but it's kind of a hazy sky today, so the sun is not that bright yet.
Doug Mirabelli, too low from John Hope Park. The Giants ahead 1-0. They got some glasses, some sunglasses for Barry Bonds to try out today that have a darker tint to them than the ones he ordinarily uses. Right field was the sun field at the stake, and just about everywhere else really. I mean, it's very unusual to have left field as the sun field.
And Barry Bonds, who spent all of his career in the National League, unaccustomed to dealing with the sun.
2 down, nobody on. Doug Mirabelli, the 8th place hitter, 1 for 7 with 1 RBI. Too low. 2 balls, no strikes. The pitcher, Kurt Reeder, would be next. Well, you know, Babe Ruth would never play left field at Yankee Stadium because it was the sun field, so he always played right field. But when they go to Fenway, which had a vicious right field sun field, the Babe would play left field there. In fact, in almost all the road games, the Bambino would play left field because he felt the sun was bad for his eyes. I'm going to tell Barry that. You think he can convince Ellis that it would be good for Ellis to always play in the sun field?
That'd be a hard sell.
2-1 the count. Deep into right center field. Way back there. Way back. That one is to the deepest part of the ballpark. Mirabelli chugging around second, digging for third, still on his way. It's a stand-up triple. The first of his life.
And folks, that is a miracle. And he is looking for air right now. His legs got real heavy about 5 steps off of second base towards third.
When he got around second and saw Sonny waving him to third, I think he did a take. Are you kidding?
This is a home run any place else in the National League. Right into the corner. And he looked around second base and saw Sonny Jackson waving him around. And I'll bet he thought, what? Triple? Me?
And not just a triple, a stand-up triple. They didn't even make a play on him. Now Reeder trying to bring him home. Take off, Doug.
All right, here we go. He's into second gear. And right about here, the legs get a real heaviness about them. Not bad.
He's much faster than I thought. That's a fair ball. Todd Hundley throws out Reeder, and the inning is over. The first triple. We've had singles, doubles, triples already. We're waiting for the first home run here at 24 Willie Mays Plaza, San Francisco. 1-0 Giants.
For the past 30 years, I've been part of a team dedicated to complete, straightforward, in-depth news coverage for our audience at 10 o'clock. Now KTVU News has added something new, the 6 o'clock news. Same team, same commitment.
The 6 o'clock news with Dennis Richmond. Weeknights on KTVU Fox 2.
She suffered his abuse. Now Julia Salinger is about to get even.
You did what?
Party of 5.
Tonight at 9 on Fox 2.
been driving too long.
The polar bears are starting to look good.
The highest ground clearance in its class. A powerful V6 engine. Endless possibilities.
Now for a CHW sports tip.
Ankle sprains often result in a weak ankle, one that remains swollen or twists or collapses when walking over uneven ground. This condition is rarely permanent and usually disappears once the strength of the leg muscles has been reestablished. A physical therapist or athletic trainer can quickly instruct you in the proper exercises.
This health moment brought to you by the doctors and hospitals of CHW and their Centers for Sports Medicine.
Time now for our General Motors Giants quiz. Name the 2 Major League ballparks besides Pacific Ballpark that were privately financed in the 20th century. Hint, one is on the East Coast and the other is on the West Coast.
Well, the one is what Tommy Lasorda used to call Dodger Blue heaven on earth, isn't it?
Hey, I'm not telling you.
The East Coast.
Is that your final answer?
The East Coast. How about, let's see, Ebbets Field. I thought Ebbets Field, Charles Ebbets, man who built Ebbets Field, almost went broke financing that ballpark, as I understand. The beautiful aerial pictures today at Pacific Ballpark, courtesy of the Goodyear Blimp Eagle, based in Carson, California. Goodyear recently increased its blimp fleet to 7. You got 7 of those suckers, adding 2 airships in Europe, 1 in South America, and 1 in Australia. So if the Giants ever go down and have a ball game, say in Sydney, we'll have the aerial photos for you. And that's just an incredible view right there. Down in the China Basin area, 3rd and King Streets. So one of our favorite spots right there, crew. Happy Donuts.
Happy Donuts. 24 Willie Mays Plaza.
Where's Momo's is right across the street down there.
Over here.
A whole lot of, great restaurants have opened up.
Gordon Biersch over here.
Well, you scoped it all out.
Oh, yeah.
He's been on a scouting trip here since the Giants got home. There's ball 1 to Todd Hundley, switch hitter, batting right-handed. According to Davey Johnson, both his hitting and his throwing better than they ever were at any time last year. Hundley is 3 for 11, 1 home run. Last year he had such a tough time hitting right-handed, he finally scrapped it and only hit left-handed the last couple of months of the year. Finished up with 24 home runs, but not many RBIs and a very low batting average.
Very quick inside, good middle and hitter, and he's got pop from both sides.
Bill Miller, he's going to have to hurry on the run. Here's the throw in time. Nice play.
Well, Pacific Bell salutes the Giants, and today they salute Kirk Reeder. Woody supports the American Cancer Society by helping to raise funds and speaking out on the dangers of tobacco. For more information on the American Cancer Society and how you can help, please call 415-394-7100. Pacific Bell, the phone, is once again your friend.
See, I think we should get a boat down there in that yacht harbor. Keep the boat there. What do you think?
I agree. What are we going to call it?
There's not much room left for any more boating enthusiasts in McCovey Cove.
It looks like opening day at June Lake. Catch a little trout.
And there's a whole group of kayaks down there, zodiacs, big boats, small boats. The huge catamaran out there. Kevin Elster, the hitter. Elster, a veteran, out of baseball last year. He is 4 for 14 so far this year. 2 doubles, 2 batted in. 3 balls and a strike to count to him. The pitcher, John Hopark, on deck. The Giants are leading 1-0. Fastball for a strike.
You talk about names for your boats. Robbie Thompson has a boat. It sits right in his backyard in Florida. Does a lot of fishing. And there are 6 members in his family. He has 4 children. And the name of his boat, 6 on Deck.
That one is cracked deep into left center field. Marvin Menard way back. This one is a home run. The game is tied up. That was a shot just to the right of that 404-foot marker out there. An extremely deep left center. And with all of these home run sluggers, Sean Green, Gary Sheffield, Adrian Beltre, Barry Bonds, Jeff Kent, J.T. Snow, Ellis Burks, the first home run is hit by Kevin Elster.
Well, and I'm not so sure that would have been a home run. It looked to me like a fan reached out into the playing field and caught the ball. And I think had he not have caught the ball, it would have hit off the wall high. And he probably had a double or a single, or a double or triple.
Then they have persuaded that fan, even though it was the historic first home run ever hit in this ballpark, he has thrown it back. Can't keep it. Marvin Bernard retrieves it.
Kevin Elster's got good power and a fastball right in his wheelhouse, and he does not hit a cheap one. What a little snow cone job out there by that fan.
Chan Ho Park is a very good hitter with some power. Right to Jeff Kent. Out number 2. That brings up a point about fans in the outfield. In the third game ever played at Camden Yards several years ago, 1992, Brady Anderson was in left field for the Orioles against the Cleveland Indians. And Paul Sorrento hit this ball to left field. Brady went up for the catch, and a fan stole it from him. So Brady was not very happy about it.
What's the reaction from Brady Anderson? I want to go home. Took my ball.
Well, they replayed that in Baltimore on radio and television. They talked about it on radio. They replayed it on television, in the newspapers the next day. And in all those years since then, no fan at Camden Yards has ever interfered with Brady Anderson when he has gone into the stands trying to take a home run away from the opposition. And I think it'd be a good thing to remember here at Pacific Bell Park. Barry Bonds is going for this spectacular catch. Let him make that catch. Rich Aurelia jumping in front of Jeff Kent for the catch. The first home run has been a hit. Kevin Elster hit it. It's tied at 1. The top of the order coming up for the Giants.
Laurel Lane's one of our big problem areas right now. Everyone's sharing the same cable line for the internet. They slow each other down and they get a little nuts.
So how long were you on the internet tonight?
20 minutes.
20 hours. 20 hours.
Everybody got a computer. That was okay. Everybody wanted to get on the internet. That was okay. Everybody wanted to get on the internet at the same time.
Log off! Log off!
Not a good thing.
The internet is, once again, your friend. Now get free installation and a free modem.
Taco Bell introduces wild chalupas and wild gorditas covered with our hot and spicy wild sauce. A chunky, zesty blend of peppers, chilies, and other good stuff, just 99 cents for a limited time.
Excuse me.
Make sure you pick up a drink. Only at Taco Bell. How do you make the double-decker taco with its combination of our crunchy shell and soft shell even better?
I'm all ears.
You drop the price to just 59 cents.
Somebody pinch me.
59-cent double-decker tacos. Only at Taco Bell.
Oh.
It's okay. It's only a Corolla. Move it up!
The 2000 Corolla, now with a VVTi engine. It's more powerful than you think.
What?
What's a four-letter word that starts with an F and gets people all riled up?
Family Feud with host Louis Anderson.
Ooh, that was close. This is a family show.
Same feud, new attitude.
Tonight at 7:30 on Fox 2.
On the shores of San Francisco Bay, Pacific Bell Park. It's the Dodgers 1, the Giants 1, and the top of the order is coming up for San Francisco here in the third inning. Marvin Bernard, Bill Miller, and Barry Bonds. A huge tanker went right by McCovey Cove between innings. I mean, we get the nautical travel. There it is. It's all happening right here at the corner of 3rd and King Streets as Marvin Bernard shows bunt and takes too low for a ball. That drew Adrian Beltre way in from third base. Marvin flied out to shallow right his first time. Bernard 6 hits and 28 at bats thus far. He's hit more homers against the Dodgers than he's hit against any other team. Strike call, 1 ball, 1 strike. Ed Montague a longtime National League umpire. There's the Bulldog. Strike two. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Little did we know that when he left the Giants saying he wanted to play closer to home, and Oro, who lives in Florida, actually meant by home the Dodgers. Marvin is down on strikes, chasing the high fastball. 1 away.
Time now to answer our General Motors Giants quiz. Name the 2 Major League ballparks beside Pacific Ballpark that were privately financed in the 20th century. Our survey said Yankee Stadium in 1923 and Dodger Stadium in 1962. Well, you got one right, partner.
It wasn't Ebbets Field?
No.
Yankee Stadium. And that was built by the Babe himself. The house that Ruth built. Bill Miller ended his 0-1. And of course, in New York, there's a lot of talk about the Yankees getting a new ballpark. There were those who would like to renovate Yankee Stadium and keep it right where it is. Miller got the first Giants hit here at Pacific Ballpark and scored the first run for the Giants. 1 ball and 1 strike. And there's at least there had been talk in New York about the Yankees having a Manhattan address. Maybe to do there what the Giants have done here.
Well, I'm sure this ballpark is going to inspire a lot of cities to try and duplicate this.
Check swing by Bill. An appeal to the third base umpire, Jerry Lane. Ed Montague, born in San Francisco, 51 years old, still lives on the peninsula in San Mateo. His son, Eddie Montague, is a baseball star at the College of San Mateo. That's a foul, and Ed Montague Sr., umpire Ed Montague's father, not only was a ball player for Cleveland back in the 20s and 30s, but he's the man who scouted and signed Willie Mays for the Giants way back when.
It's nice to have on your resume. And I'm glad to see Ed Montague get this first game behind the plate. I know it means a lot to him.
There's a splitter. Did he swing? No. Oh, John Hope Park very upset, visibly upset out of the mound. He just couldn't believe it.
That's one thing Channel Park never has really been able to do effectively, and that's control his temper on the mound. If something goes against him, a missed call or an error or a bad break because the sun gets in the outfielder's eyes and the ball drops, he doesn't handle that well. This guy is still learning how to pitch. He's got quality stuff, though. He's a good athlete.
3-2. Right to Elster. And that is out number 2. Bill Miller retired, and Barry Bonds will come up. By the way, Ed Montague, all these years a National League umpire, but there are no longer American or National League umpires, just Major League umpires. Ed Montague worked the Oakland Athletics home opener 8 days ago, just across the bay in Oakland, which was very odd to read that box score and to see his name as the plate umpire for an American League home opener. Barry Bonds, that's too low for a ball. We saw Sandy Alderson last night. The umpires come under his job description now in the commissioner's office. Bonds, who doubled home the first run here at Pac Bell Park, fouls one off the fists and out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. And I asked Sandy because I thought it'd be interesting, because there'd be a learning process. For instance, National League umpires have for a long time seemed to have a different idea as to what is a balk than American League umpires. And Sandy said, no, not anymore. Well, we'll see if that's in practice the way it is. But Sandy said they've had seminars with the current umpires. They want everything to be uniform. One ball, 1 strike to Bonds. He got the changeup, pulled it foul right into the Dodger dugout on the first base side. 1-2.
Well, so far around baseball, there really hasn't been a lot of controversies outside of Charlie Manuel, the skipper of the Cleveland Indians. He got thrown out of 2 of the first 3 games for the Indians. But I mean, other than that, everything's going pretty good.
Other than for Charlie. Andy Pettit got called for a balk the other day up in Seattle. Bonds pounded it down off his foot, foul. That hurt. Wanted to, tried to shake it off.
Good hard breaking ball. It just took a nosedive towards the back foot of Bonds. Set up inside. This is right where this ball wants to go. It's a direct hit. He's having a hard time shaking this one off.
Stan Conti, Giants trainer. Look at look at it. Man.
Right inside the arch.
Well, of course, you hate to see that with a player, any player, but particularly knowing that Matt Williams, like for the second time in his career, suffered a broken bone in his back foot after hitting a foul ball. He opens the year on the disabled list.
Yeah, and he actually hits that ball pretty good. It's good wood. We learned a long time ago, when you're a player and somebody fouls one off their foot, it's a big yuck. Everybody laughs about it. But after Matt Williams went down a few years ago, we don't make that mistake anymore.
Barry Bonds able to walk around, able to continue. 2 down, nobody on in the third inning. The Giants won, the Dodgers won. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count to Bonds. 2-2.
Yeah, I think they missed the boat right there. Todd Hundley, that's usually calls a pretty good game. It doesn't miss much. And if I'm Chan Ho Park, I'm going right back down the same location with another breaking ball.
Bonds hits one high and deep. Right center field. Devon White all the way back, and this one is gone. Home run, Barry Bonds. Pacific Bell Park, maybe the house that Barry built. He drove in the first run with a first inning double in the history of the ballpark. Now he has hit the Giants' first official home run here. Barry Bonds rising to the occasion.
John, I'll bet that's the first time he's run around the bases after hitting a home run where it didn't feel good.
Jeff Kent, slider for a strike. But the Giants have hit for the cycle in the first 3 innings in their new ballpark. They have 4 hits, a single, a double, a triple, and a home run in 3 innings against Chan Ho Park. Miller hit the single in the first. Bonds hit the double in the first. Mirabelli hit the triple in the second, and now Bonds has homered in the third. And they're still very concerned about Bonds' foot. 2 strikes to count to Kent. And slider off the outside, 1-2. The home run was Bonds' 3rd of the year. Stan Conti ministering to him in the dugout. Kent took it. He flied out to right his first time.
Chan Ho Park throwing a lot of off-speed stuff today. That was the pitch that Bonds hit. Big hanging breaking ball right over the plate. Bonds saw it early, measured it well, and killed it.
Jeff Kent, 2 down, nobody on. The Giants ahead 2-1. Kent has never had any success with Chan Ho Park. He had a breaking ball that hung up around the belt. Lofted it foul, out of play.
Yeah, he's had good swings at breaking balls, and in his last at bat, he saw one, waited well, and popped it up to right. And he saw that last pitch early and had a good rip at it.
Jeff with only 4 hits in 27 career at bats against Chan Ho Park. One of those a home run. Barry Bonds launching one into the center field bleachers. Put the Giants back ahead. Kent is down on strikes. Nice pitch by Park. But Barry Bonds is the first Giant to tell one bye-bye, baby, here at Pacific Bell Park. Chad Robinson coming over from radio side. Stay tuned. We go to the 4th. 2-1 Giants.
sorry, honey.
You are now free to move about the country.
Harvey. Hey, Ted. That was my last one.
Moving on, guys. He's dry.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down.
Eat it.
Make it a Bud Light.
See, I think that works.
It's boring.
It's not boring. Those are real chicken breast pieces and real fish fillets from Alaska.
It needs something. You're gonna like this. Hip-hop pool party. You got your food, plus your lifestyle.
I don't need lifestyle. I've got big meals of real chicken and fish. Okay, now that works.
To the top half of the fourth inning now. Giants lead the Dodgers by a score of 2-1. And joining us now in the booth is Ted Robinson. And Ted, so far it's going according to script.
Yeah, that's right. You can't park in McCovey Cove. Everyone said parking was going to be a problem here. Did you see that shot just there? If you have a boat, you can't get a place to park out there. See that all right there? Where are you going to get a place to park there, Mikey?
It looks like opening day of trout season.
It's just spectacular. You know, Mark Grzelcyk takes a strike. You know, we talked about how this was a day of dreams for everybody, and it just, in the daytime, we're finding out how difficult it is to keep your focus on the field because it's just so tempting to look around at those spectacular sights around you. Fortunately, the players don't have that temptation. You can't see them from the field. Miller off to charge this ball and makes the play on Grzelcyk.
Tell you, that wasn't even close. Bill Miller has made some very fine plays today, and off the crack of the bat, you're thinking it's going to be a real close play. Now, Mark Grzelcyk, he gets down that line pretty well, but this is a can of corn. Anytime you got to go down to your shoe tops and then come up top of the throw, it's an off-balance play made nicely by Miller.
So Sean Green, the batter.
Yeah, so one thing we were concerned about, Ted, was how Reeder would do today going through an adrenaline start, because oftentimes sinker ballers will lose their sink. He's thrown a lot of ground balls in.
Green shoots one to the lower deck foul. Well, you asked me if everything's going according to form. I guess you're assuming that we all had Doug Mirabelli in the first triple pool?
No, I'd have bet Kirk Reeder would have hit the first home run before I'd have said Mirabelli hit the first triple.
Well, I called it the first miracle at Pac Bell Park. 2 balls and a strike to Green. And Doug Mirabelli would have been the first home run had he hit that ball any other place. 2-2 now to Green. Had a chance to say hello to him before the game, Mikey, and his first comment: it'll take me 10 years to figure out how to play every ball off that right field wall.
He got a bat in the first inning. Good pitch right there, and he set that fastball up away nicely. He really kind of put Sean Green to sleep with a lot of off-speed stuff early in the count. Then he got to the 2-2, tried to lock him up outside, just missed.
There, misses away. So the first walk issued by Reeder puts Sean Green aboard and brings up Sheffield. And this is a matchup that hadn't been very good for Reeder in the past. Sheffield got here about 7:15 this morning to get treatment on his ankle sprain and to be able to play today. And I have to think a lot of that is tied up in the fact he's 11 for 21 lifetime against Reeder.
Oh yeah. You have that kind of success against the guy. I mean, that'll heal a lot of hurts. So I'm surprised that Eric Karros is not in there. He's really got to be stove up.
And the Giants now put a shift on against Sheffield that I don't recall seeing, Mike. Have you seen them? Do you remember this before?
Yes, they've done it before. Dead pull hitter. They're looking for their double play right now. Kind of a different play for a second baseman, though.
But like teams with Bonds, Mike, they're only shifting in the infield. The outfield straight out. Bonds is playing in the pull, but basically Bernard's straight away in center.
Got to pay close attention to Sean Green, too, because he can steal a bag.
3-0.
Working the outside corner with that little sinker falling off the plate, missing. That's one thing about Sheffield over the years. He's really gotten to be much more patient. There was a time when he was young and he'd hack at anything. You didn't have to throw him the strike to get him out.
Back-to-back walks, and now the Dodgers have things set up for Geronimo Barroa and then Adrian Beltre. If you think about Sheffield's learning patience, Mike, you go back to '97 when the Marlins won the World Series. Sheffield didn't have a very good year because teams walked him all year, and he was just going crazy. He couldn't figure out how to survive that. Well, he obviously did. He's talked to Barry Bonds about it, in fact, when the Giants and Marlins played that year.
Well, walks can frustrate a hitter. Not getting pitched to. I mean, the guys in the middle part of the lineup, especially a guy who's as much reputation offensively as Sheffield, they want to swing.
Well, a strike call to Barroa, who hit into a 5-4-3 double play in the second. Door 0-2.
Now he's put both pitches on the outer half of the plate in this at bat. He's really got the inside location set up. But if you're going to go inside to Barroa, you've got to get it in. You don't want to make a mistake middle into this guy. And he's a very good fastball hitter. Slightly open stance. He gets that inside pitch pretty well.
And he got the corner again, and Barroa is out looking.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. And Barroa does not like the low strike from Ed Montague. But if you think back to the 2-2 count to Sean Green when Reeder just missed the outside location, it wasn't because it was outside, it's because it was high. Montague, a low ball umpire, and that's his strike zone. And watch the frame job from Mirabelli. Sticks it.
So Barroa is out, 2 down. And now Reeder to Beltre. Second strikeout for Kirk Reeder.
Oh, a good off-speed pitch to open up the at-bat. They're mixing speeds well right now. You know, the Dodger lineup in general are not a patient bunch of hitters, but they are dangerous. Good power up and down that lineup.
1-1. More vulnerable to off-speed stuff for a guy like Beltre?
Yeah, not necessarily. I think, you know, you just can't give him a steady diet. You just can't throw him pitches back to back. You got to mix them up.
Fouls away, 1-2.
We watched him last year. I mean, turn around 95-mile-an-hour fastballs and yet go the opposite way with off-speed stuff that was down on the outer half of the plate, down around the knee, just good pitches. I mean, he can beat good major league pitches. You don't have to, that's why he's dangerous. Mixed speeds and wear his hands out, that's where you got to pitch it.
Got him. Great job by Reeder after the consecutive walks to the dangerous hitters of Green and Sheffield. And now Burks will start the Giant half of the fourth.
The horses really don't like me. They think, oh, well, there's that darn truck. It's time to go to the barn. I don't want to be ridden today. That's not my fault. I don't ride them. I just take them where they need to go. They blame me. Can you believe? But luckily, my owner, he takes care of me. He knows my engine's made for a high-octane gas like Chevron Supreme with Techron. And that Techron, it helps keep my emissions low.
No premium outperforms Chevron Supreme with Techron. Chevron, simply smarter.
My emissions are fine. The horse's emissions, they're questionable.
Mr. Alpine. Mr. Totally Radical.
I don't know why I even put up with you.
Hey, here's a thought. Lessons. Look at my hand. I'm ruined. And I passed on a rodeo clown.
Life's unpredictable. At least on the job, you can count on workers' compensation insurance from State Fund to protect your employees. The rest of the time, let's just hope they've got all the protection they need.
I'm not helping with your bedpan.
Good morning.
The way that you walk, it's just the way that you talk, like it ain't no thing, and every single day is just a fling.
When you rent a tuxedo from the Men's Warehouse, you won't have to worry about whether you look good. After all, you probably have enough on your mind already.
The Men's Warehouse now rents tuxedos.
You're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee it.
2-1 Giants as we head to the bottom half of the fourth. It's time now for Carl's Jr. in your face. If it doesn't get all over the place, it doesn't belong in your face. And Geronimo Baroa gets up. He takes one. He takes two. It's a 3-pitch see ya, and that is in your face. Grab some pine.
And because of that, the Giants still have the lead here as we go to the bottom half of the fourth inning. It'll be Burks, Snow, and Aurelia to face Chan-Ho Park. Barry Bonds still being looked at by Stan Conti after fouling a ball off his foot in the third inning. A couple of pitches later, he hit the first Giants home run here at Pac-Bell Park.
Yeah, he's done two things this early season that you don't see very often. He did it in Florida, where he hit a long foul ball home run, and in the same at bat he hit a fair home run. And then usually when a guy whacks one off his foot, he's done. See you later. And he hits a home run.
A ball to Burks, rather, 2-1. And of course, seeing Barry foul that ball off his foot, you just have a flashback to Matt Williams, who the second time in his career is out right now after fouling a ball off his back foot. Hasn't hurt the Diamondbacks. 6-1 Arizona is. Good heat there, 2-2. And as Bonds gets fitted for a little bit of protection.
What they're doing is they're getting that set up for his next at bat. It's not going to do him any good right now, but it will be when he gets in that batter's box again.
Three and two. Well, it's April, but I can say, Mikey, the weekend series we have coming up this weekend here in San Francisco between the Giants and the Diamondbacks, and then the following weekend in Arizona, are pretty important games.
Yeah.
For the way the Diamondbacks have gotten out, 6-1. It's sharply, but a nice softer hop to Elster, and he gets Burks one away.
I mean, these games really do count the same in April that they do in September. But you'd like to go out and have a series against teams within your division and do well, and just sort of serve notice around your division that you're the team to beat. And the Giants have that opportunity.
Well, they get the Diamondbacks, of course, without Matt Williams and perhaps without Matt Manti. But I think what you don't want to do is you don't want to play uphill all year, right? And if the Diamondbacks get out quickly, you may face an uphill chase all year.
I don't think that the Giants right now are worried so much about the standings as they are about getting their acts together as a team.
Pitch up high, 2-0.
And the first couple of weeks really are extensions of spring. I mean, everybody's getting themselves in shape, getting their strike zones established, and just getting right, and getting that good feel. And then you have to put it all together with 25 guys.
3-0. The problem with that, and that's a very good sound traditional baseball theory, right? The schedule conflicts with that because here you are, you're playing half your games against your top division foe right at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, but I don't think there's anything that can hurt you in April unless you pull a Baltimore Oriole like they did several years ago and they just go 0-23. You're done. I mean, you get 3 weeks down in April. We'll see you later. But even then, you still have time with 162 games to make up for it, although it's not likely that you would. Teams that go out 0-23 usually don't have the pieces to bring it back together.
What was the Cubs, what, 3 years ago? What was their start? 97 or something? 14, 0-14, I think.
That was bad.
All right, here's Aurelia with Snow aboard after the first walk issued by Park. And that's driven left field corner. One hop to Sheffield. Snow into third and Aurelia into second with a double.
You know, a lot of people question as to whether or not last year was a fluke, whether or not Rich Aurelia could put up 22 home runs again. And you only have to watch him take batting practice to hear the sound that comes off of his bat. It is loud. It's big boy loud. He has got good power, and this is a testimony to it. This ball scalds off his bat, and it gets down there. And had there been a normal left field, and I say normal because Sheffield is hurt right now, and he's not moving too well out in left field, that might have been just a single.
Well, Mikey, Aurelia has stung the ball twice against Chandler Park. Lined out to left field his first time. And he had come in 2 out of 17 lifetimes. He's figured something out today.
And the two hardest guys to jam on the Giants lineup, Bonds and Aurelia, really cover that inside pitch well.
So now the Dodgers are playing back with Mirabelli up and 1 out. Does this surprise you?
No. No, I think they're afraid, really afraid of the big inning. They need outs. It's a statement about their skipper.
Mirabelli blasted one to the 421-foot mark in right center, deepest part of the park, for a triple in the second inning, but it was with 2 outs. It did not lead to a run. Strike 1-1.
Throwing that curveball a lot today. And I have to say I'm impressed with the confidence he has to throw it. He'll throw it anytime. 1-0, 2-0, 3-1, full count. Started a lot of guys off first pitch with it. Chandler Park does not lack for ability.
Two and one. Well, it was September of '97 when the Giants and Dodgers had a great pennant race, a 2-game series in Candlestick to end the year. First night, Chandler Park against Kirk Reeder. And they both pitched magnificently. The Giants won the game 2-1 on a first inning home run by Bonds. It's going to be a Pac Bell Park saving a foul pop. Not much room. Out of play. And that was a night we learned a lot about Reeder, Mikey. His incredible competitiveness. Out-dueled Park, who was on top of his game.
And you talk about that competitiveness about Kirk Reeder. I mean, if there's a game in the clubhouse, he's in it.
And he wants to win.
And he wants to win. I mean, no matter what it is. If they're throwing paper wads in a trash can, I mean, he's first guy in line and the last guy to leave.
All right, now Mirabelli sits 2-2. And Park got him. So Park doing what Reeder did in the top half of the inning. Needing a strikeout, getting the strikeout.
Good breaking ball, but watch the location. Starts off the corner and just falls off the plate. You need a broomstick to get that ball.
So now Reeder will bat with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. In his first at-bat, Kirk hit with Mirabelli at third and 2 outs. Tapped out in front of the plate. And Park gets the first pitch strike.
Woody's dangerous. He hits the ball left field like Sheffield does. Only Woody does it from the left side.
Foul 0-2. I'm almost surprised that they don't shift like they do for Sheffield. For Woody, put the second baseman over there.
He's a knob leader. Gets the knob of the bat out there first. He kind of drags the bat through. And he hits the ball hard, but it's always to left field.
And the Dodgers playing that way in the outfield. They've got Devon White well into left center. One ball, 2 strikes. And the Dodgers had an opportunity to score in the top half of the inning, and Reeder pitched out of it. Chan-Ho Park trying to do the same here in the bottom of the 4th.
The outfield's got him played right. Devon White's pulled over about 12 steps towards the left center field gap.
And Chan-Ho Park gets Reeder. So back-to-back strikeouts. The Giants strand 2. Kevin Elster, whose home run has the Dodger run, will bat in the 5th.
Who's the king? Kopecky's the king.
You've had time to contemplate, gentlemen?
We are very interested in your foam rubber company. 30 years building this business up. The train is finally coming in. 11 million. That's a lot of lira. You drive a harder bargain, Kopecky. Grete.
Want to take over the business world? You need FT.com. Business news from every corner of the globe. The world doesn't turn on a dime. It turns on a pound, a yen, a rupee, a shekel.
It's time to fall in love. With me or my Old Navy capris? So many colors, so little time. How can I choose? Some say opposites attract. I think it's these bungees.
Old Navy all-terrain capris for women and girls.
Who says you can't buy love?
Burger, fries, and a Coke. Don't bother me. I'm eating. The Carl's Jr. Superstar.
Once I was lost, and I stopped and asked for directions.
Now that's bold.
Nothing brings out the bold like Bullseye. Bold taste, great barbecue. Bullseye.
Well, here's the television schedule for the rest of this first homestand at Pacific Bell Park. We'll be right back with you on KTVU Fox 2 and the Giants Television Network Thursday night at 7:30 for the final game of this Giant Dodger series. Then Fox Sports Net coverage tomorrow night, Friday night, and Saturday afternoon. Tomorrow night, of course, the second game of this Dodger series, which has been moved up to a 7:05 first pitch. And then the Diamondbacks here Friday and Saturday. Sunday's game, which is a 5 o'clock game, is of course an ESPN telecast. Don't forget, after today's opening day game here at Pac Bell Park, stay tuned to KTVU Fox 2 for highlights. Wasn't this modeled after Mark Ibanez? I'm just kidding, Mark. But Mark will be along with Joe Fonzie, Fred Inglis, the KTVU Fox 2 sports team, and Vida Blue will also be along. They'll have a special post-game show and take you right up to the 6 o'clock news on KTVU. Here's Todd Hundley. And the first thing I noticed, Mikey, in Hundley's first at-bat, caught me off guard. He came up to hit right-handed. Last year, Todd Hundley, in the middle of the year, quit switch hitting, just like JT Snow. And really quit because of JT Snow. The way JT had hit the ball batting left-handed last year against left-hand pitching, Dodger teammates were telling Hundley, why don't you do what JT does?
Yeah, they tried it. I think a lot of it had to do with how his elbow felt. His right elbow, his throwing elbow, was the one that was surgically repaired, and I think it bothered him when he was swinging the bat from the right side. And I don't think he has that pain anymore, which is why he went back.
And so he decided in spring training he would try right-hand hitting one more time. Ball is out of play.
We've talked about Mark Gardner and how effective he pitched to open up that 3-game series in Atlanta. And a big key, the difference between Gardner 2000 to Gardner 99 was that he's able to finish his pitches, extend through them. Well, it's the same thing for a hitter. If you've got an elbow problem, you can't extend through your swing. And it really affects how you swing the bat. It did with Todd Hundley last year.
Hundley with a little golf shot foul. So the count stays at 2-2. Well, the Dodgers, of course, so much of what they hope to achieve in terms of improvement this year will, I think, be dependent on their ability to stop teams from running wild on them. Early on, 6 games, the Dodgers have allowed 6 steals, throwing out 1 man. Well, Peter O'Malley on the left. You know, there's in a very quiet way. And Hundley gets one out over Aurelia for a base hit.
That was a good at bat.
And here's Kevin Elster's home run in the 3rd inning, the first home run at Pac Bell Park.
Fan reaching out. Yeah, I'm looking at it from that angle. It probably would have gone out anyway.
Yeah. You know, it's going to happen, so we might as well get used to it. Now Elster batting. You know, Mikey, looking at Peter O'Malley, you have to think about that in a small way he has a role in today. In 1992, when the Giants were on the verge of going to Florida, it was Peter O'Malley who also was very influential behind the scenes amongst the National League. Like, hey, this club has to stay in San Francisco. Peter O'Malley, of course, recognizing that since he brought the Giants out here with him in '58, or his father did rather, that this rivalry was so meaningful. He's sitting with Bob Daly, who is now the managing partner, just taking over this year. Bob Daly now running the Los Angeles Dodgers. 2 balls and a strike. Mr. Daly on the right is like Peter McGowan, a New Yorker. Bob Daly grew up in Brooklyn, a diehard Dodger fan. And a very successful man in the entertainment field who's now found really a chance to pursue his lifelong passion, running a baseball team. Part owner of the club. And Peter McGowan relishing this day.
Yeah, I got to believe right now that hot dog's tasting pretty good. Giants fans gave him a nice ovation when he was introduced pregame.
Deserved. And there's a shot by Elster. And he has hit another one, and the Dodgers have the lead. Well, Kevin Elster stealing the show here at Pac Bell Park on opening day. He has hit 2 home runs, and the Dodgers have a lead at 3-2.
And no doubt about that one. Again, pretty much the same location. Reeder drops the ball back into the middle in part of the plate. And Elster all over it.
Kevin Elster out of baseball last year, talked back into the game by his old Met manager, Davey Johnson. And he has hit his first 2 home runs of the year this afternoon.
They want the ball to go away and just sort of leaks back out over the plate. No doubt.
So the Giants' inability to get another run across in the bottom of the 4th now looms big as the Dodgers have their first lead.
Claude Osteen, pitching coach for the Dodgers, enjoying that.
Yeah, so did Park.
Anytime you give up a lead early and you're the trailing pitcher, when your team gets you back the lead, you bet that feels good.
Davey Johnson, his 2nd year managing the Dodgers, old teammate of Dusty Baker's. They had a warm embrace on the field before the game. And the 8th place hitter for Johnson has hit 2 homers. 1-2 now to Park.
When the Dodgers picked up Elster, they knew they were going to get a little offense. They also knew they were going to give up some range. They said they don't care. Just catch the balls that get hit to you.
dribbler Mirabelli have to make this play, and does, to get Park for the first out of the inning. Well, that had been a concern of Dodger pitchers in recent years, Mikey. I don't think there was ever really a ground ball hit where they felt secure the play was going to be made.
Team gets a reputation for poor defense. They start to press. And the defense gets worse. And it affects your pitching staff in a negative way because they start trying to strike people out. And when you do that, you throw your best pitch early in the count, and just all kinds of things start to snowball. Get good defense, boy. It settles everything down.
Now here's Devon White. Singled in the first inning, the first hit at Pacific Ballpark, then a soft looper in the infield for an out. What intrigued me about the shortstop situation with the Dodgers, Mike, is that Jose Vizcaino was never considered for the job. He's a reserve infielder for the Dodgers. Third year he's been with the team.
Now he's making salary that most starters make.
Right. Well, he was signed to be the shortstop. It was Vizcaino. And he was in '98. But once they traded for Grzelcyk in August of '98, Vizcaino's been a utility player. By the diving Miller into left field for a hit.
Well, Giants Dugout Stores are your official location for New Year 2000 Giants merchandise. You'll find new logo caps, jackets, and t-shirts, and all the accessories. While you're there, you can also pick up the just-released documentary on Hall of Famer Willie Mays, Born to Play Ball, for just $17. Check out the new Giants Dugout Store located at 24 Willie Mays Plaza.
I think I have an idea for the Dugout Stores, Mikey.
What's that?
You have to get a line of boating clothes.
Yeah, that's right.
To wear on your official trip into McCovey Cove. A Giants sailing cap. Giants wetsuits. Hey. I never even went to business school. Is that Bruce Jenkins? I'm looking closely. I can't tell.
Well, he's got the wetsuit on. He's ready for a ball. It looks like a big party out there. It looks like everybody's having fun.
Well, the fun quotient just got diminished a little bit by Elster's home run. Fouled by Grzelcyk, and it's 0-2.
Ball stuck in the fence.
Wow.
It's like a Titanic lifeboat.
I think that might have been Raul Velez's party. Our radio engineer, Raul the Tool. Told me he had all his high school chums coming to the game today. By the way, a very appropriate honor. The first inning of the first game here at Pacific Bell Park, broadcast on radio today by Lon Simmons.
He broke in the other two parks. He should break this one in.
Off of Reeder. He'll have to go to first base here to get the out. So 2 down, but Devon White has moved into scoring position, which is big with Sean Green coming up. And Lon Simmons, who has been the voice of baseball for more than 4 decades here in San Francisco, had a chance to call the first run here at Pacific Bell Park. And he is now somewhere down in the stands sitting with the first manager of the San Francisco Giants, Bill Rigney, who was at the ballpark today. A tremendous news that was, because Rig fought some real serious illnesses over the winter, but strong enough to make it to the ballpark today. As well he should. A little looper, shallow center, and that's going to fall, and Devon White will score a run. So the inability of Reeder to cleanly field that comebacker hit by Grzelcyk allowed White to get to scoring position. It pays off with the bloop hit, and the Dodgers have a 2-run lead.
Man, that's the one thing about the big guys, the guys with power, that really frustrate you. You make a good pitch on them, you get the ball off the sweet spot of the bat. You can't do much with it, but they're so strong that they can fight those off, and they can get them out in the outfield and get hits on them. Yeah, Dwayne Kuiper pointed something out to me a few years ago, too, Ted. I never really thought about, but the big guys, the Sheffields and the Greens, they also hit ground balls harder, and they get through the infields faster.
Well, here is Sheffield, who is singled and walked. So right now it's been a little bit of a longer inning for Reeder. This is the 7th man he's facing. The Dodgers have put 3 up. And their most dangerous hitter is at the plate. Good pitch, 1-1.
Working that outside half. Reeder's saying right now, if Sheffield's going to beat me, he's going to have to beat me away. One of the quickest bats in the National League in that batter's box right now, Gary Sheffield. And he is strong, and you can tell how strong the guy is by the way he buggy whips the bat. To get from where he buggy whips in that position to his swing, and it almost looks like you have a ball right by him, and boom, he fires those hands out. You cannot sneak a fastball by this guy. You better have some location with it.
Will there be a time, Mike, where age will take that ability from Sheffield and he'll have to change?
Yeah, in his case, he'll probably be 73 years old. I mean, really, if you look at Hank Aaron, never lost that quickness in his swing. And his legs went south, but he always had the hands.
2-1. And I asked that question, fully admitting, I mean, Sheffield's only 31. Like you feel like he's been around 26 years.
Yeah.
He's 31 years of age.
Very strong-handed. You know, it's like Willie Mays and Orlando Cepeda. You go shake hands with those guys, and that's all you need to know about them. Feel the strength and the size of their hands, and you can know just by touching them and feeling their hands why they have the hand strength that they did. They're both front foot hitters. Great hand strength.
Well, Sheffield had a good year last year in almost every category for the Dodgers. And, well, that's a good job of pitching. Reeder had him off balance. Kent going back on this ball puts it away, and that finally puts the Dodgers away. But a big inning it is. The Dodgers score 3. The Giants will have the top of the order coming up in the bottom of the 5th.
Would you come back to church if we promise not to throw the book at you? Whoever you are, the Episcopal Church welcomes you.
Fuel up with breakfast at Denny's with 2-time NASCAR champion Terry Labonte. Nothing slows Terry down like the new and delicious Kellogg's Country and Specialty Slam and Country and Specialty Slim Slam. Try them and get your free game piece, and you could win a trip to meet Terry Labonte plus $25,000.
Come on, Terry. Hey, man, it's the only thing I do slow.
Fuel up with breakfast at Denny's.
Getting a new car is a kick, but there are questions. Should I get this option? Can I afford that option? Do I even have an option? Introducing the Civic Value Package Sedan. Complete with a keyless entry system, air conditioning, automatic transmission, a CD player, and more. Isn't life wonderful when the options aren't extra?
Now get special APR financing as low as 4.9% for 36 months on all new Civics.
We Episcopalians aren't
what you think we are. Did you know that more than
half of our worldwide members are people of color?
Whoever you are, the Episcopal Church welcomes you.
It's time for this date in Giants history, brought to you by the State Compensation Insurance Fund. And what else could it be today? It's our date is today. Today, April 11th, the year 2000, the Giants opened their third San Francisco home, Pacific Bell Park. The Giants played at Seal Stadium in 1958 and 1959, and then they moved to Candlestick for the next 40 years, ending last season in 1999. And that is our date in Giants history.
Now we have some 49er representation today. Ronnie Lott checking out how NASDAQ is doing.
Gamer.
Harris Barton is also in the house, and there's Bill Rigney. And I just, you know, anyone that's ever met Rig, they're not exaggerating when they tell you what a wonderful man he is and a great ambassador for baseball. And it's just really great, Mike, to see him here today.
Yeah, it really is. And I think that Lon Simmons was so happy when he found out that his longtime friend was going to be able physically to attend today. And you know what? Right now, Rig is just loving the yard. He's back in his favorite home.
And you notice he sent Lon out to get the garlic fries. All right, here's Bernard. Giants down 2. Starting at the top here with Bernard, who's flying to right and struck out.
I think this is a big at bat right here. The Giants have their leadoff hitter, Bernard, leading off the 5th inning. And I think down 2 runs, having just given up the league, if he can get on base, it sets a tone for a good inning for the Giants. Big at bat. You definitely have momentum when you score a 3 spot and take the lead if you're Chan-Ho Park. And he's trying to put a quick 0 up there. And on the contrary, Bernard knows how important it is for him to get on base and get Chan-Ho Park in his stretch early in the inning.
Ground ball right through Berroa. Well, the Giants have taken advantage now twice of Geronimo Berroa, who is really a designated hitter. Playing first base today, had a shot to cut down a run in the 1st inning and never made a throw.
Oh, that's some nasty topspin on it, and I think he anticipated the ball coming up. And interesting because JT Snow says this infield, the ball stays down. It's one of the best infields he's ever been on, taking ground balls. And there was an example of the ball just staying down. Berroa anticipated the bad hop, and as an infielder, you cannot do that.
So the leadoff man on, error on Berroa. Miller, double play ball, and that'll be turned by Grzelanic, the new second baseman. And just like that, the Dodgers erase the error. So instead of having a chance to really do damage, Barry Bonds will bat with no one on in the 3rd inning. After fouling one off his foot several pitches later, the first Giant home run. And he doubled in a run in the 1st inning. And that double play ball so huge in this spot. Allows Park to pitch out of the windup to Bonds. Mikey, do you think we're not getting far from the point where teams just won't pitch to him? The way he's swinging early?
He is definitely on fire. But I mean, there's no reason not to pitch to him now.
Right, not now, but I'm saying, as we've seen in the past, when Bonds gets hot, teams just pass him.
Well, yeah, I would think that every time he puts a highlight up there late in the night, everybody watches it. I mean, they like to take long before they do start pitching around him. And it's what they've done his whole career. I don't see why they would change now, especially the way he's swinging.
Jeff Kent on deck. And there are a whole slew of people watching through the openings in the right field wall. They're standing about 6 deep out there today.
Let's take a look at our Giants leaderboard, brought to you by CHW Bay Area, the leader in sports medicine. Home runs in 1999 by left fielders. Vaughn in Cincinnati with 43, Sheffield with 34, Bonds with 33, tied with Dante Bichette with 33. Note, Bonds hit 33 and 179 fewer at-bats than did Greg Vaughn. Remarkable year for Bonds and Burks both, considering the number of at-bats they lost due to injury.
Now Bonds creeping up on another milestone as he takes a strike. Bonds with 448 now. Career home runs. Pulled a shot foul. I'm wondering if Hundley, or what Hundley would have talked about to Chan-Ho Park. 2 outs and nobody on.
Well, Chan-Ho Park shook him off about 8 times, and finally Hundley went out there. I think he said, hey, you don't have that many pitches, meat. Let's go.
Let it be known that in the bottom of the 5th inning, the first meat was dropped on a Giants telecast at Pacific Bellpark. I'm surprised it took you so long. You've been locked up ever since Wes ran on the field before the game.
Yeah, my son Wes, 10 years old, got to spread his dirt collection on the infield.
fouls it away. Wes Kruko was interviewed in the media interview room before the game, and just he's really a child of this generation. I enjoyed it when he was asked about his dirt collection. He said, I just took it one ball field at a time.
Yeah, he's got all the Major League Parks in his dirt collection. And you know what's really interesting is when you get all the dirt that he has lined up in their individual containers as to how different the dirts are.
You get any dirt from Tidrow?
Dick Tidrow. Brian Sabian's right-hand man, nicknamed Dirt, way back in the mid-70s when he was a member of the New York Yankees.
Right field, but this one should be for Sean Green, gliding back in front of the wall. So Chano Park gets through the 5th. We'll go to the 6th. 4-2 Dodgers.
He's the kindly old judge.
Oh, heck, you're nitpicking. Settle down here.
He's the host of The Feud.
It's going to be a wild day.
Put them together. What have you got?
Open hay.
It's the new afternoon lineup on Fox 2. Judge Mills Lane at 4. Family Feud with host Louis Anderson at 4:30. Followed by The People's Court at 5. A little afternoon justice and sweet rewards. Weekdays on Fox 2.
Laurel Lane used to be a very friendly neighborhood. Kids running around, you know, they'd see me, hey, mailman, you know. It's nice. And everybody started sharing the same cable line for the internet. And the more people, the slower it got. Now people aren't very friendly anymore. It's awful. It's like a war zone. Web hog.
The internet is, once again, your friend. Call now for free installation and free modem.
Kilago, alone on Kilago, how empty it seems with only my dreams.
Introducing the 3.2 CL from Acura.
You know, if you're going to open the bills, you could at least pay them.
Statusfactory.com. Now you can view, manage, and pay all your bills online.
Sixth inning at Pacific Bell Park. Ted Robinson, Mike Kruko, John Miller, and of course our fabulous crew, the best in baseball, headed as always by Jeff Kuiper and Jim Lynch. Grady Lever. Geronimo Barroa swings and misses. How many opening days for you, Grady? Or are we not counting? One of the men most responsible for making sure things work smoothly today is Giants Vice President George Costa. And Donna Costa and their son Zachary enjoying the game. Their choice seats. Can't believe Zach does not have a walkie-talkie on.
You see George Costa, you're going to see a walkie-talkie. And he's usually talking into it.
He needs one right over that right ear. Inside to Barroa, so it's 3-2 now. Raiders had a pretty easy time the first two at-bats. Barroa to ground into a double play and then called out on strikes. And he reaches for this tapper, but he's going to beat this ball out. Well, the accidental hit by Geronimo Barroa. Bad break there for Reeder and the Giants. While we get to Adrian Beltre here, a look at the Dodge National League scoreboard. Games to be played later. Montreal and Pittsburgh, St. Louis at New Enron Field in Houston. Second game in Colorado. Reds will be there, and at Arizona and San Diego. Diamondbacks won last night before over 60,000 at the Murph in the Padres home opener. How about Houston last night, Mikey? Enron Field. Remember the word we heard was offense? 8 home runs last night.
Wow.
Cardinals and Astros. Final score was 8-7 St. Louis. The teams combined for 8. McGuire only hit one of them. Giants will get to Houston in late June for their first look at Enron Field. And of course, today, the third new park in Major Leagues opened up this year, Comerica Park in Detroit. Tigers won that game. We'll have all the American League scores for you in the bottom half of the inning. Hard hit, Miller, nice stab. There's one, and not in time. Beltre runs well and was able to avoid the double play, but well done by Bill Miller.
Well done indeed. Bill Miller had to go to his backhand, and he sets up so quickly, slides right into his back foot, plants and throws a strike to Kent, and they almost pull it off. Only the speed from Beltre prevented the deuce, but it was very close, even with the speed of Beltre. Oh, that's great technique right there. And that's just instinct. What a nice play.
So the Giants get one. Beltre now the runner, and Todd Hundley the batter. Well, Hundley really started all the mess in the fifth inning, batting from the right side. Opened up the inning by battling Reeder and eventually getting a soft single to center field. Elster followed with the second home run of the game. That gave the Dodgers the lead. Barry Bonds has driven in both Giants runs today with a first inning double and a third inning home run. Reeder in for the strike, 2-1.
Yeah, good change up there in a 2-0 count. You've really got to be careful here because Hundley is a real good low ball hitter. And this is a situation where you want to throw sinkers down. But you got to be careful. If you miss one down and in, that's his happy zone.
This ball to the right side, and Burks is there to make the catch. So 2 down in the Dodgers' 6th inning. Well, now you're really going to be careful with Elster coming up. Well, one of the world's most enduring symbols joining us for opening day today, the Goodyear Blimp Eagle, which has been providing our gorgeous aerial shots. Goodyear blimps travel over 100,000 miles every year, covering major sporting events. I have to believe that the Goodyear pilots, the blimp pilots themselves, are enjoying this today. They get a lot of wonderful assignments, but I can't imagine there's a better place to fly over. Better scenes than what they're getting today.
Yeah, this is fun being here today. So far, it's been the Kevin Elster show.
Solo home run in the 3rd. 2-run shot in the 5th. What's your sense on how Reeder approaches it?
Well, with 2 outs and pitcher on deck, I mean, there's nobody warming up in the Dodgers pen. You got to pitch around this guy. He's impressed him twice. There's no reason to get beat by him a 3rd time, especially when you got Chan Ho Park on deck.
In this spot, why don't teams just stand up and walk the guy if that's what they're going to do?
Well, Reeder is a pitcher who should know how to handle the situation. He's a control guy, and he can work a corner. What you don't want to see here is a mistake middle in. That's Elster's happy zone, and he's beat that zone twice today. $100 pitches on the day now for Reeder.
The Giants have their bullpen up. 3-1. Felix Rodriguez, first man up in the pen today. Park taking his jacket off in the on-deck circle. Pretty good idea he's going to hit here in a minute. And there it is. So, in essence, an intentional walk. Pushes Beltre to second base, and with 2 down, brings up Park. And now Dave Righetti makes a trip to the mound.
And this talk's going to be pretty simple. He's going to say, listen, don't just give in to Park. He's too good a hitter. You have to work him like he's Kevin Elster. He's also probably telling him that this copyrighted telecast is granted under television rights by the San Francisco Giants and KTVU and may not be rebroadcast in any form without the express written consent of the San Francisco Giants and KTVU.
You notice ever since Lon Simmons left, the Giants have not done as well. Lon had a 1-0 lead after 1 inning.
Lon, we're going to have to put you on a microphone to get a few more runs here for the Giants.
Park swings and misses.
Good pitch. Stay on the outside part of the plate. Play for managers. You get beat in a situation by a pitcher, by him hitting your fastball, it was a fine.
Out to right field. Burks is there, and so Reeder pitches through that leadoff infield hit. 2 Dodgers left on base. The Giants will have Kent, Burks, and Snow in the bottom of the 6th.
Eyes of a puppy dog, lips made for sin. You're not dreaming. I'm for real. We got a call.
Hello.
Louis?
Yeah?
Louis?
Want to get away? Now you can. Fly Southwest Airlines coast to coast for $99 or less when you purchase tickets by May 3rd and travel Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday.
You are now free to move about the country.
Your website's going to be set up like an MMDS gigabyte.
A website should be orderly.
I will give you art.
This is your webpage, baby.
Making website is like making good jam.
Developed with the highest in technology.
It's got a hard drive.
Who wants some? Who wants some? Look at the kid.
Who designs your website is up to you. Hooking it up and delivering the goods, leave that up to us.
But of course you'll ship everything.
FedEx.
FedEx.
Like a FedEx plane.
FedEx. Be absolutely sure.
Get up to $2,000 cash back on a new Kia Sportage.
People are talking about the original 10 o'clock news. Critics call it the New York Times of local TV news, the late night news leader. The original 10 o'clock news on Fox 2, the Bay Area, is watching.
The American League scoreboard from Chevron. Opening day at Detroit's Comerica Park, and the Tigers beat the Mariners. Big day for Nomar Garciaparra, and the Red Sox win at Fenway. Chicago, Tampa Bay will get going in a bit, as well as other night games, Kansas City, Anaheim, and across the bay, Charles Nagy, Omar Olivares tonight as the Indians meet the A's. Well, he opened Seal Stadium, he opened Candlestick, and here today to open
his mouth
is Lon Simmons. And the first question I need to ask you today, Lon, is Rigney sent you to get garlic fries for him?
No, he didn't. But he got here. Rig got here, and he's enjoying it. He's sitting down below the press box there, and I was happy to see that he could get out and go. He made the A's opener the other night, and he got here for the opener today, and it's great. There he is right there.
It is just terrific that he's here.
He's looking good, and he's trying to get in shape so that we can play in the seniors again in June.
Now, who gives who strokes when you play golf with him?
Oh, poor baby. Before he had his problems, he had to give me a lot of strokes.
Well, what do you think when you look out here today, Lon?
Well, I think that we've welcomed a Major League Baseball park to San Francisco.
Yeah.
This is the first baseball park that we've had. Seal Stadium was a baseball park, but it was a minor league park, and it wasn't. They had to move out because it wasn't enough for the Major League ball club. But Candlestick was never a baseball park.
That's really so true. I was thinking the same thing on the field today. For 40 years, fans on both sides of the bay have had to watch baseball in parks that weren't built for the sport.
And it's just tremendous. I mean, coming in, my daughters were with me, and they were just thrilled. They've been baseball fans for years. They grew up with Mays and McCovey and Bonds and Davenport and Marichal, and that all they could do was ooh and ah as they came in here looking at the stadium. Of course, that's all they could do all their life is ooh and ah.
They had no choice.
2-2 now to Kent. And the fastball missing. So Park runs the count full. Burks and Snow will follow. And there's the leadoff runner. The second batter that Park has walked.
So far, I was just going to say, so far, what has made this ball game bad for the Giants at this point was the bottom of the fourth inning. Runners at second and third. They couldn't get a ground ball to get a run. If they get a ground ball, the Dodgers are going to give them a run. They didn't get anything out of it, and every time it seems when you come back from an inning where you should score, the other team does something good, and that's what happened in the top of the fifth.
Doug Mirabelli seeing a steady diet of breaking balls in that at bat, and I tell you, the pitch that he struck out on was one of the better curveballs that Chan Ho Park has thrown today.
One of the tough things in that spot for an eighth place hitter is you go up there figuring they're going to pitch around you. What the pitcher do up next, and you got that in the back of your mind, and I don't think you're as good a hitter in that spot because you're not sure that they're not going to pitch around. You're not sure that you're going to get a strike that you can really hit.
One strike now to Burks. He's grounded to short twice. And they'll swing 1-1.
Well, I agree with you about the eighth spot. I mean, it takes a while to learn how to hit in the eighth spot of the lineup. For that very reason, they're not going to give you a whole lot because they got the pitcher on deck. You have to learn how to hit a breaking ball because you're going to see a lot of them. And you've got to be patient. And patience is something that young hitters don't normally have.
1-2 now to Burks.
And another thing in that, because you want to be a big hero, and if you're going to get a good pitch, you want to hit it. But in that spot, you're probably not going to get a good pitch, so you might as well just try to block the ball out and just hit a roller. I mean, don't worry about hitting a 3-run home run or getting a line drive. If you block the pitch out, it's just like blocking a tennis shot. You know, you block it out, and you hit a ground ball, and then you get a run. But that's another thing that a young hitter has to learn.
Well, right now, the Giants hoping that some of their bigger hitters can get something going here. Burks takes the close pitch. Park again with a little display of emotion.
I don't blame him. Ed Montague doesn't like it. He's going to give a little bit of a warning and a stare down right here.
That's the second time, at least the second time that's happened today.
And now Eddie Montague's going at it with Davy Johnson.
Here it comes. He's winding up.
Well, Ed's one of the better ones, and you don't see him get riled like that very often.
Well, Ed's got a quick fuse. I mean, he really does. So I have to tip my hat to Montague, but I don't think this is over yet. One last word. He's sneaking over there. Here's one more word. He's going to fire on him. In Ed Montague's younger day, Davy Johnson's gone. And here's the pitch they're talking about. And it's a really good pitch from Chan Ho Park. It was a pitcher's pitch. Not a pitcher in any league that would want that one. Davy Johnson giving Montague an earlobe.
Out of the way. Eddie Montague, who had walked in the park today, saw on the rotation sheet he was working second base, and he said, "Seniority. I've got the plate."
Now, he told us in spring training he was going to have this plate.
And Burks delivers a base hit. That's just going to serve to heighten a little frustration for the Dodgers.
You know, that might be the biggest hit of the game right there for one reason. Park is upset that he didn't get the call, and now he's going to be grumbling to himself that, I had him out of there. He was out on strikes. I didn't get the call. Now he gets a base hit, and I'm in trouble. If Snow goes up here and does a patient job now, he's liable to get a really good pitch to hit.
Yeah, I agree. That's where you make mistakes, is when you let your anger get away from you. You worry about what got you into the jam instead of what you should be worrying about is what's going to get you out. And Chan Ho Park's been hot-blooded. That's been his reputation.
All right, here's Snow. Flying to right and walked. Took a rip at the first one. Well, you're describing exactly what we saw from Livan Hernandez in Atlanta the other night. Got upset when he didn't get a couple of calls, and bang, one bad pitch, 4 runs.
In this game, you can't dwell on what's happened. You've got to dwell on what you're going to do. If you let past things get to you, then it's a problem. I don't know that Park will do that, but there's a good possibility that he will. But he's come back to get in front of Snow 0-2, so that's.
And the first pitch he threw in this at bat was really a good changeup. Had JT way out front. Onan Masaoka and Terry Adams now start to get loose for the Dodgers in their bullpen.
Kent started the inning with a walk. Burks followed with a hit. And now Snow really trying to get some action going as the Giants wind toward the bottom of the order. Check swing, and that should be 2. Oh, a little bit of a high throw, but Grzelcyk does a nice job, and the Giants, with a second straight inning, get into a double play.
Oh, and a check swing, too, from JT Snow. There's no worse at bat than not even to get a good hack off and wind up whacking into a double play. And that's another good pitch from Chan Ho Park. I'll tell you one thing he's done today that I had not seen him do in the past, and that's consistently pound a situation with sinkers. He's got a lot of ground balls that when he's needed them, and he's really pitched for them. And that's maturity.
Now Hundley had to talk to Park. Now I'm curious to see here how they pitch Aurelio, because he's had 2 real good swings on Park today.
That might be what Hundley was talking to Park about. You don't have to give in to this guy. Let's work on the young guy on deck. If you don't want to give Aurelio something that he can hit for the distance, but let's hope he does.
At the strike, Aurelio hit a line shot out to left field, then a double to the left field corner.
Giants have really not done well this year so far in the 2-out situation, driving runs in. And a knock right now would get them mentally right back in this ball game.
Oh, there's a break. Park with a gift run. 4-3.
Now there's a situation where the catcher just told him, now don't give in to this guy. Don't give him a good pitch to hit, and he tried to put too much on that one.
Overthrew the fastball. One of the hardest balls to block is the fastball down the dirt. It's unpredictable, and you don't have a whole lot of time to get in front of it.
So the Giants salvage something out of this inning. They got a run. Park now into the windup. And Aurelio rolls one to second. So 1 run in the inning. Lon, great to see you here today. John Miller will be along for the 7th. 4-3 Dodgers.
Head for the mountains of Busch Beer. Proud sponsor of the NASCAR Busch Series.
A good pair of shorts is hard to find unless you know where to look.
All-terrain shorts at Old Navy.
I'm in the mood for good looking. And while I'm at it, strong, relaxed, rugged.
with built-in bungees and a cargo pocket.
Really just my type.
Old Navy all-terrain shorts for men and boys.
What's not to love?
One of the things you have to have is just this innate love of cars. It has to be something that you'd probably do for free even if they didn't pay you for it. And I used to do it for free before I ever became a professional mechanic. You know, while I was going to school and stuff like that, I worked on my own cars. For one thing, out of necessity, I didn't have the money to pay somebody to fix them. You know, it's like some people love to play chess or something like that. I don't personally like chess much. I learned how to play it. I didn't like it. But I love working on cars, probably for the same reason, where it's analytical. It's kind of like solving a crossword puzzle.
Michelin would like to remind you, there's only one safety feature on the road that actually touches the road. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Giants Baseball is brought to you in part by Budweiser, Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. We see McCovey Code is filling up. That's might take longer to get out of that traffic jam than it will be any other part of the ballpark in a car. Giants trailing the Dodgers as we head to the top half of the seventh inning, and here back to talk play-by-play to you is John Miller.
Talk some hardball from Pac Bell Park as Alan Embry comes on in relief of Kirk Reeder. So Reeder went 6 innings, giving up 4 runs and 8 hits while he was in there. Top of the order for the Dodgers, Devon White, then Mark Grzelcyk, and Sean Green. Bonds is going to have to go chase this one. Bonds is still favoring that right foot as Devon White has his 3rd hit of the game. A double for White.
First ball fastball hit from Alan Embry. Alan Embry's been scuffling a little bit. Been dragging his arm and really has not been on top of his pitch. And the result of that has been he has suffered with the command of his pitch. His last outing, however, he had a 1-2-3 inning in Atlanta, threw the ball well with a strikeout. And he's thinking that maybe he's finally found a good set of mechanics that will allow him some good rhythm to get back in the strike zone.
There's Grzelcyk now, bunts the ball. That's a fair ball. Is it fair? No, foul ball. I beg your pardon. It looked fair to me. Maybe it. And what happened in that play?
I think it may have hit Grzelcyk coming out of the box. One of the keys for Embry, you know, he's got a good fastball. And he can get that fastball up to 93, 95 miles per hour. Kirk Reeder reflecting on the afternoon. The key to Embry is a pitch that he has not thrown a lot of, but when he has thrown it, it's been very effective, and that is the changeup.
1 strike, the count to Grzelcyk, who's 0 for 3 in the game. And White back to the bag. White at one time was a very prolific base stealer. He's not stolen a base so far this year.
Let's see if the ball does indeed hit him as he comes out of the box. Does not. That's a fair ball.
I mean, it looked to me like Mirabelli clearly picked it up in fair ground. There goes White. The ball is driven down the right field line into the corner. That one is foul. At the Old Navy sign on the foul side of the line. If it hits the Old Navy splash hit sign, foul ball.
That's an official ground rule. Of course, the fact that it's 20 feet on the other side of the foul line makes it a pretty easy call.
Yeah. Well, yeah, also because it's on the right side of the foul pole.
I'll tell you, partner, Giants caught a break there. Devon White had that base stolen standing up.
White, had that ball not been hit, he might have tried to just keep on going home.
Embry's going to have to vary his looks. He's just been giving him one look, turning and going to home.
Felix Rodriguez, a right-hander, up in the bullpen. The left-handed batting, Sean Green on deck. Then a string of right-handers after Green. White at second, nobody out. 0-2 the count to Grzelcyk, who's been trying to get White over to third. Oh, man. Fastball on the inside. He did not get the call.
Anytime you see a pitcher come off the mound and trail the pitch, that's their subtle way with body language to let the umpire know that they feel he missed the pitch. Fastball. And you know what? That was not inside. It was just high. Again, Montague, a low ball umpire.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Bluffing White back to second. Now, we saw Sandy Alderson last night. One of his jobs is the umpires, the major league umpires now. And one of the things he said was that they no longer want umpires who have their strike zones. They want everybody to have the same strike zone.
Well, wishing and getting are a couple of different things, though. I mean, I just don't think you're ever going to be able to uniform the strike zone. It really depends on what the guy behind the plate sets.
What he thinks is a strike.
Yeah.
Right along the first base line. That was about maybe a quarter of an inch foul. Man, first base umpire Anthony Randazzo right there to make the call. 1-2 with the MLB hat now, no longer an AL or an NL on the umpire's caps. Beautiful day here in the city by the bay in the new spectacular ballpark down at the corner of 3rd and King. All the way over to the Golden Gate. Clean and cleared. Nobody out. Embry already in a jam after the leadoff double by White. 2-2. Tomorrow, a night game. The first night game here at Pacific Ballpark. Joe Nathan for the Giants. Darren Dreifert for LA. 7:05 tomorrow. That might have been listed at 7:35 on the schedule. They changed the starting time. Thursday night at 7:35. Mark Gardner will get the start for the Giants. 2-2 the count. The slider. Did he swing? Yes. Randazzo rings him up on the appeal. And Grzelcyk is 0 for 4. And he did not get White over to third base. And here comes Dave Righetti out to the mound now. And he got the strikeout, Mike, but I don't know that that was exactly where he wanted that slider to be.
Well, I just don't think he wanted to miss on the outer half of the plate. Grzelcyk likes the ball upstairs. Good fastball hitter. He likes the ball middle out. So if you're going to run a breaking ball from the left side into him, you're going to want to try and jam him with it. And that's what that ball does. Davey Johnson, reaction letting Ed Montague. He's
umpires are killing me, man. We never get a break.
Davey.
Now Sean Green. He drove in the 4th Dodger run with a little muscle bloop into the shallow reaches of center field back in the 5th. That's the run by which the Dodgers lead this game. Too tight with a fastball. Both bullpens are busy right now. Each team with a right-hander warming up in their respective bullpens. Sean Green 1 for 2 with a walk in this game. Devon White over at second base. The Dodgers are leading 4-3 in the 7th inning. 1 out. That slider in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. And you mentioned it earlier, Mike, that Green is a devastating low ball hitter. There's Felix Rodriguez up in the Giants pen. Terry Adams, the former Cub, in the Dodgers pen. A ball and a strike to Green. Jammed him. Mirabelli will not be able to get to that one. It's into the crowd. Caught by a fan down there. A ball and 2 strikes. That one, the bat just exploded.
Yeah, that's jam sandwich right there.
Look at that bat.
Here you go. See you later. Yeah, right there. Oh, yeah. And it doesn't feel very good either. He's got a herd of bees in his fingers right now.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Green. Gary Sheffield on deck. Devon White leads away from second. Aurelia trying to keep him close.
Wow. There was a mismatch. There's a cross up right there. Doug Mirabelli is going to go out there and tell Embry, if you don't get this guy out, you're going to have to spend the night over here. The Rock.
Awfully.
In that room right there. That's the left-hander suite.
That's the cross up the catcher suite.
Not a good feeling. I mean, Embry's got a good fastball. 93, 94 miles per hour. When you get crossed up there and get hit low in the glove up right the base of your palm, that hurts.
Well, this is a pretty critical time of the game for something like that to be happening. 2-2 the count. A great hitter at the plate. Runner at second. 3-2.
Good job of blocking that ball by Mirabelli. Drop down and let your chest protector become the mitt. He cleared his hands out, smothered it with his chest, got it right out in front of him. Textbook. Watch the hands go down. That's about as good as you can block a ball. Gets right back up, finds the ball, locates the runner.
So now it is 3-2 to Sean Green. Felix Rodriguez, the right-hander, up in the bullpen with the right-handed slugger. Gary Sheffield on deck. Popped up. Bill Miller with the glasses down. 2 down.
Oh, he got in his kitchen again with that fastball.
Well, Sean Green unable to bring White home.
I tell you what, the scout reports from all the other advanced scouts in attendance today, they're going to write right down on that scout report, jam Sean Green. Until he turns around that belt high fastball inside, he's going to see a whole lot of them.
Well, here's Sheffield, and they're going to walk him intentionally with Geronimo Berroa, another right-handed hitter, coming up next.
This is something that Embry does not do very well. That's the intentional walk. He's one of those guys that kind of has to throw the thing hard in order to put it in the strike zone. These three-quarter throws can be dangerous.
Well, he almost threw a wild pitch in that first one.
This was the first one. And catchers get a little nervous.
Oh, here we go again. 3-0. I remember there was a time in Juan Marichal's career when very early on it was hard for Juan to make a throw to first on a comebacker. Ball could go anywhere.
Yeah, I had the same experience when I first came up. I just didn't have command of that easy throw. So Mike Rourke, an old pitching coach we had with the Cubs, said throw sliders. So we intentionally walk guys, and I'm throwing breaking balls up there.
And so but that worked?
Yeah, I had a better feel of that than I did with the fastball.
Well, now Embry is going to face the right-handed batting Geronimo Berroa.
And Berroa is a very good fastball hitter.
Got the right-hander. Felix Rodriguez ready in the bullpen. The Dodgers do have some left-handed hitters that they could counter a move here with, so perhaps that's why Dusty Baker is staying with the left-hander with Berroa at the plate. 2 on, 2 out. Off the outside. They've got Todd Hollinsworth, a left-handed hitter. Also Dave Hansen, who is the Dodgers pinch hitting specialist. One of the top pinch hitters in the league. Hansen has already hit a 3-run pinch hit homer this year in Montreal last week. White at second, Sheffield at first, 2 down. 4-3 Dodgers. White is running. He got an incredible jump, and Mirabelli won't even think about a throw.
Well, Embry, I mean, he's concentrating hard on the hitter here, and he's not really paying any attention to the runners with 2 outs. And he gave one look at to the runner, and as soon as he turns his head, he goes. I mean, that's a ridiculous jump. The way you combat that is by looking twice or 3 times back. That'll hold the runner in his position. But Devon White, an experienced runner and a smart runner, took advantage of it.
Well, now he's behind Berroa at 2-0, as Mike Krukow mentioned, a great fastball hitter. Ooh. Blew it by him.
Yes, he did. He went right at him at the belt, too. That's the beauty of Embry. I mean, he's got such a good fastball. He doesn't really have to have great command with it. That was right across the plate at the belt. That's Guys kill to get pitches like that, and they're in that batter's box.
Berroa, when a DH with Oakland in 1996, hit 36 home runs. To right field, Burks is going to have to play it on the bounce. A base hit. Scoring is White. Heading for third is Sheffield. And it is 5-3 LA. So Berroa gets the RBI with 2 down here. The Giants continue to give up a lot of runs after 2 down. More than 2/3 of the runs on their road trip were driven in after 2 men were down. Now Adrian Beltre, another right-handed hitter. So the leadoff double by White, and eventually he scores on the Berroa single. First and third, 2 down in the 7th. 5-3 LA. That's right back beneath us. 0-1 the count. Kirk Reeder, the starter. Reeder actually roughed up today by Kevin Elster, the Dodgers shortstop who did not play last year. 0-2 the count. Elster with his 5th career 2-home run game. His first since he went deep twice at Fenway Park the year before last. And that last run Reeder gave up came right after a possible double play ball that he was not able to handle. A sharp one-hopper back to the box by Grzelcyk in the 5th inning. Reeder reached over his head to get it, and the ball dropped out of his glove, and he got only the 1 out. That kept the inning going, and then Sean Green got the bloop single to drive in the run. And the Dodgers get another 2-out run here, leading 5-3. They're threatening to get more. 2 down, 2 on, 2 strikes. Along the right field line, Kent out. Burks a long run in. Burks, and that's it. But Berroa gets the clutch 2-out hit. The Dodgers lead 5-3. We go to the last of the 7th inning.
For 50 years, Squaw Valley stories have been written in places like Granite Chief, Shirley Lake, and KT22. And this year's Squaw stories start at your Northern California Ford Outfitters. In the California edition, Ford Explorer, a 4-door 4x4 XLT with a free sport package and $1,000 cash back. Because when your stories are told at 9,000 vertical feet, getting up there can be just as rewarding. So drive Ford and ski Squaw. Visit your Northern California Ford Outfitter.
I get lots of letters. Ed Husting of Yakima writes, Dear Burger Dork, you think your ads are so dang clever. Just show me the dang burger and tell me what's on it. Point taken, Ed. Presenting the Bacon Ultimate Cheeseburger, a towering burger boasting 2 sizzling hot jumbo patties covered with melting cheese and 8 pieces of mouth-watering bacon. It's massive and served hot because we won't make it till you order it. You were right, Ed. The food speaks for itself.
What's a Freeman Wellwood? A different kind of discount broker. No churn and burn, or costly roundabout answers. You get free information and great rates by phone, the internet, or at a local office from a real live broker. So, what's a Freeman Wellwood? A whole new spin on discount brokers.
For your free starter kit, call 1-888-607-FREE.
Our game summary is brought to you by Jack in the Box. And through 6.5 innings of play, the Dodgers with 5 runs on 10 hits and an error. The Giants 3 runs on 6 hits and an error. Chano Park going 6 innings, allowing 3 earnings, and Kirk Reeder allowing 4 in the same amount of time. The big difference today, Kevin Elster with a couple of bombs, both off Reeder, and those bombs accounted for 3 RBIs. And as it stands right now, Giants have to do a little catch-up, and we have a new pitcher, John.
Terry Adams on the pitch now for the Dodgers, the former Chicago Cub reliever, and they traded Ismael Valdez to the Cubs as part of the deal that brought Terry Adams to LA to try and strengthen that bullpen. Davey Johnson feels like he's got much better balance now in his bullpen than he had last year, and Adams is a big reason for that. One time they thought he was going to be the closer of the future in Chicago. Ball one high and tight to Doug Mirabelli.
He throws hard. He got a good fastball. Got a little cut to it. A little slider to go with it.
The pitcher due up next, and Felipe Crespo has come out on deck. There he is, a switch hitter. 5-3. The Dodgers ahead. 2-0. Dave Hansen comes on to play first base for LA. So Berroa is gone. Hansen, I believe, will hit in the 9th spot and be due up 3rd in the 8th inning. Right there on the outside of the knees. Called strike. 2-1. Adams is making his 3rd appearance in the 2000 season. He's worked 4 innings in the first 2 games. A run and 2 hits allowed. That one is hit high and deep into left center field. That one is on its way. Gone. Home run, Mirabelli. And it's a 1-run game again. And Mirabelli has hit a couple of shots in this game. Has tripled to the deepest part of the ballpark in right center. And this one was just a majestic home run. That was a Mark McGwire kind of a blast.
There has not been a cheap home run hit today. And Doug Mirabelli showing why he's got pop. Gets extended, just a fat fastball right at the belt. Boom, see you later. And you knew it right out of bed.
Crespo, first ball swinging. Hansen, Adams covering, and Crespo is gone just like that. Crespo 2 for 4 on the road trip with a home run and a couple of RBIs. But he is retired, and now to the top of the order for Marvin Bernard. 5-4, the Dodgers lead. Giants bullpen is busy as Bernard gets ready to bat. There's John Johnstone, the right-hander, up in the Giants pen. Bonds and Mirabelli with home runs for the Giants. And forever, Doug Mirabelli's name will be there with one of the firsts at Pacific Bell Park. He may have been, among all the players on both teams, the most unlikely to end up getting the first triple in the history of this ballpark, but indeed he's the one who did it. Now he's followed that up with a long home run. Bernard chases that high fastball up out of the strike zone. Mirabelli 2 for 3 today, a triple and a homer. The Giants' first 4 hits were the 4 hits of the cycle in sequence: single, double, triple, and homer. The ball 1-1 to Marvin Bernard. He has flied to shallow right, struck out, and been safe on the error. Miller got the first hit, a single, as the first Giants hit. Bonds the first double, an RBI double, for the first run here at Pac Bell Park. Mirabelli the first triple, and then Bonds the first home run, the first Giants home run. Joe Nathan on the left, Russ Ortiz on the right. Nathan scheduled tomorrow night at 7:05 against Darren Dreifert. 5-4, LA leading 7th inning. 1 out, nobody on. Beltre, and that's out number 2. And we've had these spectacular aerial views of this spectacular city and the beautiful new ballpark from the Goodyear Blimp Eagle. 2000 is the 102nd anniversary of Goodyear and the 75th anniversary for its blimp fleet. Cameraman up there is Luis Navarro, and we're glad to have them with us today. Bill Miller, the hitter, and that's caught by Elster. Barry Bonds will have to wait until the 8th inning to get a shot. We go to the 8th. Hundley coming up. 5-4. The Dodgers lead the Giants.
Laurel Lane's one of our big problem areas right now. Everyone's sharing the same cable line for the internet. They slow each other down and they get a little nuts.
So how long were you on the internet tonight?
20 minutes.
20 hours. 20 hours.
Everybody got a computer. That was okay. Everybody wanted to get on the internet. That was okay. Everybody wanted to get on the internet at the same time.
Log Go, go!
Not a good thing.
The internet is, once again, your friend. Call now for free installation and free modem.
The thrill of a new 240 horsepower engine. The serenity of a perfectly considered interior. The beauty of a machine in balance. The new Infiniti QX4. Imagine the ultimate luxury vehicle. We have.
Come on! Come on!
Okay, now, who's you got?
Oh, he's the short, stocky guy on third.
Legs first! Legs first! Go!
Brutal.
You know, it's almost like he knows I'm up here.
Keeps you busy, doesn't he? Peanut?
I should get down there. He's catching this inning.
Life's unpredictable. At least on the job, you can count on workers' compensation insurance from State Fund to protect your employees. The rest of the time, let's just hope they've got all the protection they need.
Today's baseball game is brought to you in part by Chevron Supreme with Techron. Chevron, simply smarter. And by Carl's Jr. If it doesn't get all over the place, it doesn't belong in your face.
There are still tickets available to see Giants baseball here at Pacific Bell Park, but you need to plan ahead. In fact, there are very good seats still available for games later on in the season. For more information, call, and I'd say call right away, 877-724-1001 or 510-762-BALL, or log on to the Giants website at www.sfgiants.com. And the crowd enjoying the sunshine in the bleachers today. The panoramic view of the proceedings. Felix Rodriguez on to pitch now to face Todd Huntley, batting left-handed. High foul off third. Bill Miller's got room. He's battling the sun over there, and he really battled it. Any ball in the air, and I'm guessing on a 1 o'clock start, probably the later we go, the worse it's going to get. But the left field is going to be having a tough time all through the day. But Robbie Thompson said third baseman and shortstops were also going to have to battle the sun on pop-ups, and we just saw it there with Bill Miller.
There's my boat. There's John's boat.
I really didn't want a big boat. One ball and no strike. Which one's yours again?
There's Crooks.
Oh, that's right.
There's John's right there. Little guy right there.
Maybe I shouldn't have invited those 12 people to ride with me. Yeah, there's a guy in my boat. Just Crooks dinghy. Rabelli. Now, ordinarily you would expect J.T. Snow would have come over and taken charge in that ball.
It's a little bit easier. It's an easier play for the first baseman because of the angle. There's the SS Miller right there.
Nautical craft of all shapes and sizes. Sailboats, motorboats, big boats, small boats.
McCovey's Cove. It's the place to be.
Slider on the outside. Nice pitch from Felix. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He's got it going. Listening to the game on the radio. Waiting for a home run ball. See, that last slider from Felix Rodriguez is the best breaking ball he's thrown in a while. Really got his hand in good position, snapped it off, good location.
2-2. Kevin Elster, the hitter. 2 home runs today for the Dodgers. Elster. He had a lot of injury problems over the years. Missed all of last year. Just out of baseball. And a lot of eyebrows were raised when the Dodgers said that he was going to be their starting shortstop. Fastball misses. Full count. Remember, he was out of baseball another time several years ago. He filled that time by making a movie. And he was very good in this role. It's a movie called Little Big League. He played a major league shortstop.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and he was excellent. Oh, and he has hit his third.
Wow.
That is unbelievable. Third home run of the game for Kevin Elster. And it is 6-4 Dodgers. Elster has driven in 4 of those 6 runs. Not Sean Green, not Gary Sheffield, not the big guy, but Kevin Elster.
That ball was smoked. I mean, mix in a single once in a while. 3 hits, 3 homers.
So Elster, who did hit 24 home runs in 1 year with the Texas Rangers. And that was about 1/3 of his career total until today. 1996 with Texas, 24 big flies. Dave Hansen, the hitter now, up for the first time, hitting in the 9th spot in the order. 2-0.
And it makes it look easy. Just a nice, easy swing on it. Great bat speed. I'll tell you, he goes into a bit of a slump.
That's a foul back out of play.
If he goes into a bit of a slump the rest of the year, I'm sure he's going to replay this game a few times. You cannot have a better approach. The lower body was quiet. Hips are perfect position. And then boom, unloaded.
We're told that the last time the Dodgers had a player with 3 home runs in the same game, his name was Mike Piazza, and he did it in Denver. That'd be a little easier to explain. Piazza in Denver.
Yeah, and this is a ballpark that's not supposed to be easy to hit home runs.
And it has not been for anybody except Kevin Elster today. And that's out of play by Dave Hansen. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Ted Robinson was talking about a game last night between the Cardinals and the Houston Astros where there were 8 home runs hit in that ball game. And we're raising our eyebrows going, oh, bandbox. Well, there's been 5 home runs hit today. We really don't know what this ballpark is going to present in that regard because the wins that we saw prior to this game were Santa Ana wins. They were wins that you're not normally going to see during the course of the summer.
That's a foul tip off the glove of Mirabelli. Still 2-2. And today I believe we have been seeing the wins that would probably be more like the prevailing wins that we would expect throughout the season. But it's not as though the home runs today have been as a result of short home run porches or just barely getting in. I mean, they've all been crushed. Elster's first home run was just to the right of the 404-foot marker out there, an extremely deep left center. His second one was a ball that he launched well up into the bleachers and left, as was this last one. That's a fair ball right past J.T. Snow into the right field corner. Burks has have to dig that one out as Hansen is easily into second with a stand-up double, and they're teeing off on Felix Rodriguez right now.
Concern from Dusty Baker, talking to his pitching coach Dave Righetti, and I'm sure we'll see somebody out there in a second. Felix Rodriguez has not been consistent since the start of the season.
Dave Righetti heads out. Giants bullpen's going to get busy. Ben Weber, number 57, gets up. And the Giants bullpen as a group has struggled in the first several days of the year. Game 1 here at Pacific Bell Park. We're glad to have you with us on the Giants KTVU Fox 2 television network. Tomorrow night, check out Fox Sports Net at 6:30 for the CHW Giants pregame report, and the Giants and Dodgers at 7:05 in Game 2 of the series. Thursday night, a 7:30 start time on KTVU Fox 2 again for the final game of the series, as Mark Gardner will take the hill. And don't forget, after the game, to stay tuned to KTVU Fox 2 for highlights, interviews, and much more as Mark Ibanez, Vida Blue, Joe Fonzie, and Fred Ingles bring you a special post-game show and take you right up to the 6 o'clock news. Runner at second, 1 out. Devon White, who's had a big day, hitting in the leadoff spot. He is 3 for 4 and scored 2 runs. There's Don Johnson, who is a network show. Nash Bridges is based here in San Francisco. Down and in, 1 ball, 1 strike.
I think you're going to see a lot of celebrities coming to this ballpark this summer. Don Johnson in his trademark vest, looking rather dapper.
One and 2 the count. White helped him out there.
You've got to be careful down around the knees to Devon White. Good low ball hitter.
Hansen at second, having doubled. The run is in. The Dodgers lead 6-4, and that is a great slider right in under the hands for the strikeout. 2 down.
Time he gets downward snap to a slider, it means his hand's in good throwing position. And he's thrown a couple of dandies in this inning. Saw a similar situation happen last year with Felix, where he started off real slow and he had his arm angle where he was underneath a lot of pitches and he'd be pushing them out. He wouldn't get on top of them and drive them down, and it really reflected in his velocity, and it really reflected in his breaking ball. Was flat and useless. It's on top. It's a good breaking ball.
Grzelcyk to shortstop. Rich Aurelia. No 2-out runs here, but the Dodgers get another run. Last of the 8th, it'll be Bonds, Kent, and Burks. The Giants are trailing 6-4.
Burger, fries, and a Coke. Don't bother me. I'm eating. The Carl's Jr. Superstar.
When did you first notice this problem?
It started a couple of months ago! More or less!
Go on.
Personally, I don't see what the fuss is all about!
But we're losing friends!
Did you purchase a cellular phone?
We sure did!
Yelling over the static. Here, try Sprint PCS. They built the only all-digital, all-PCS nationwide network, so you'll be heard loud and clear.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Sprint PCS, the clear alternative to cellular.
Their eyes locked. He began to kiss her. Suddenly, she pushed him away.
What is wrong?
He asked.
Oh, Nick. My portfolio is totally unbalanced. 3 of my mutual funds are underperforming.
And I've been far too concentrated in small cap stocks.
You can always tell an investor who's had a Schwab portfolio consultation. It's an objective evaluation that tells you how you're doing and whether you could do better.
She spun around. If you don't understand portfolio allocation, Nick.
You don't understand me.
Wait, I love you.
Dodgers 6, Giants 4. We head to the bottom half of the 8th inning. It's time now for our turning point of the game, brought to you by Craig Auto Parts. Well, Kevin Elster, he's been the turning point of the game. Back in the 3rd inning, he gets his first home run, a solo shot. Then in the 5th, a 2-run shot, both off Reeder. And then in the 8th inning, 1 out, nobody on. He hits a bomb off Felix Rodriguez. And so far today, that has been the turning point of the game, brought to you by Craig Auto Parts.
Yeah, the turning point of the game today was the Dodgers' decision to keep Elster back in spring training. Here's Barry Bonds. Pops it up. Middle of the infield. In fact, right around home plate. And it's Todd Hundley right in front of the plate to make the catch on that one. So Bonds is gone just like that. Barry with an RBI double in the 1st, a long home run in the 3rd, lined out to right in the 5th. All of that was against Chun Ho Park. Now he pops out against Terry Adams. No balls out into the bay so far today, although we've had 5 home runs. Bonds and Mirabelli have each gone deep for the Giants. Now Jeff Kent. Dodgers lead the Giants by 2. Dodgers have one of the top closers in the game. When they lead going to the 9th, that's Jeff Shaw. Just inside to Kent. Kent has flied to right, struck out, and walked and scored a run. Chun Ho Park went the first 6 innings, was charged with 3 runs and 6 hits. Will Tapper pass them out? Elster. 2 men gone. He said some celebrities are here. There's Hall of Famer Cha-Cha Orlando Cepeda.
Looking clean in that hat too.
Orlando, who is forever memorialized in Danny Kaye's Dodgers song from 1962. Orlando got to hit a grand slam in that Dodgers song.
With a wham bam.
Orlando Cepeda is at bat with the bases jammed. Orlando Cepeda with a
wham bam.
He hit a grand slam.
In the very first inning. It was only the beginning. I love that song.
It was a great song.
Except the Giants lost in the song.
Well, the Giants lost in the song, the Danny Kaye song, but they won the pennant in real life that same year.
Okay, that's all I care about.
All right. You and me may be the only guys who know all the words to that song.
Nope. I met a couple of guys last year at a golf tournament, and they did it in harmony. It was the greatest thing I ever saw.
Maury Wills' son, Bump Wills, when he played in Texas, he knew all the words to it. And Roy Smalley, remember Roy Smalley? Played in the big leagues for a long time. He knew all the words. Ellis Burks, a ball and 2 strikes to count. 2 down, nobody on. Chasing the Adams slider, and Elster throws him out. Well, Elster is destroying the Giants both in the field and at the plate. 6-4 Dodgers. We go to the 9th.
I said, listen, it'll never last.
Want to get away? Fly Southwest Airlines coast to coast for $99 or less when you purchase tickets by May 3rd and travel Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday.
You are now free to move about the country.
No one's here to answer your call or regular hours. Know who to call for help around here?
Well, you can try Ed's Towing. There's also EJ's Repair Shop and A1 Collision. Call Big Wayne's Towing. It's right off of Route 10 near Sands Road. And there's a hotel across the street in case you need to stay over.
Wow. How long have you lived around here?
Never been here before in my life.
At GTE Wireless, we don't just put the internet onto your phone, we put it into your life. Introducing GTE Wireless Mobile Internet Services, network provided by Lucent Technologies.
What's a 4-letter word that starts with an F and gets people all riled up?
Family Feud with host Louis Anderson.
Ooh, that was close. This is a family show.
Same feud, new attitude.
Tonight at 7:30 on Fox 2.
Top of the 9th inning. Felix Rodriguez to face Sean Green, Gary Sheffield, and Geronimo Berroa. 6-4. The Dodgers are leading. Ball 1 outside to Green. They traded Raul Mondesi to the Toronto Blue Jays to get Sean Green. Then when the Dodgers played an exhibition at the Sky Dome before the start of the regular season, Raul Mondesi got a hit in one of his first at-bats by a Dodger pitcher, and then he got a hit in his next at-bat and ended up going to the hospital for x-rays. And he was not very happy about it.
No, was not happy.
He felt that it was not a coincidence. 1-1 to Sean Green. Green ended up being traded because he told the Blue Jays, says, I want to sign with a team back in the U.S. I don't want to sign with you. So he didn't demand to be traded. He just told us, but I'm not signing here.
It's a big concern in Canada about that very thing.
One ball and 2 strikes to Sean Green. Just inside. He went to Tustin High School. Are you familiar with Tustin?
Yeah, down there in the Anaheim Hills. Not too far from Disneyland. A lot of good baseball played down that neck of the woods.
2-2. Back to the screen.
He just missed that one. You can always gauge how the hitter is timing a pitch just by the way the ball is fouled, and that was straight back. He is on it.
Jeff Shaw, the Dodger closer, getting ready for the last half of the 9th inning. Great job of setting him up by Terry Adams, particularly in the 8th inning. Adams gave up a home run to the first man he saw, Doug Mirabelli, in the 7th, and retired everybody else. That slider is just inside. Full count, 3-2. Sean Green is grounded out, walked. Get a bloop single to drive in a big run in the 5th inning. That's when the Dodgers took the lead for the first time. Green popped out to third his last time. 1 for 3. Hitting third in the order. Gary Sheffield on deck. And the fastball for the strikeout.
Okay, the Giants are pounding Sean Green with hard stuff. I mean, he's probably seen more fastballs a day than he did in a month last year in the American League. And that ball's by him, folks. Talking about how he was right on the one before that. Well, he was late there. So Felix went back and found a couple extra feet on the fastball and just blew a good hitter away.
And now another good hitter, Gary Sheffield. And if anything, even tougher to blow him away with that fastball. 3 infielders played to the left side of second. Slider popped up. Rich Aurelia. Out number 2 for Sheffield. 1 for 3 with a couple of walks today. And now Todd Hollinsworth will come up and pinch hit for Terry Adams. Adams had been moved into the 5th spot in the order when he came on to pitch in the 7th inning. Todd Hollinsworth 2 for 8 so far this year with a double. No homers, no RBIs. 6-4. The Dodgers are leading in the 9th inning. That's a strike call on the outside. 40,930 the official paid crowd for this home opener. A complete sellout, as you certainly knew a long time ago. Tickets to this game were like having a pile of gold. And there's some reportedly some big money being asked for and big money being paid for tickets to this game from people who had them available. $40,930.
And just about everybody's here stuck around.
6-4 Dodgers, 2 down in the 9th inning. Hollinsworth doesn't get it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Giants in their half of the 9th inning will have JT Snow, Rich Aurelia, and Doug Mirabelli due up. We've got Armando Rios, a left-handed hitter, still available off the bench. Jeff Shaw will be coming on for LA. And blew him away. So a strong 9th inning from Felix Rodriguez. Last chance for the Giants. Snow, Aurelia, and Mirabelli due up. 6-4 LA.
Head for the mountains of Busch Beer. Proud sponsor of the NASCAR Busch Series.
See, I think that works.
It's boring.
It's not boring. Those are real chicken breast pieces and real fish fillets from Alaska.
It needs something. You're gonna like this. Hip-hop pool party. You got your food, plus your lifestyle.
I don't need lifestyle. I've got big meals of real chicken and fish. Okay, now that works.
Okay, man, let me see what you got. All day, so. In your dreams, phone boy.
So,
That was lucky, man.
are you familiar with the phrase, all day?
You got to be kidding me.
All day, all night, that's right. All day, my friend.
All day, every day. The AT&T One Rate 7-cent plan.
I'll get you tomorrow.
So, it's all day, every day.
Call 1-800-41-RATE to enroll.
If you like to leave things to the last minute, don't worry. Our 24-hour tailoring will get you out of any jam. Well, almost.
The Men's Warehouse.
You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
It has been a day to remember in almost every way at Pacific Bell Park. People have come from all over the area to attend, and those without tickets, they also found a way to almost attend out there in McCovey Cove for the Dodgers. Kevin Elster, though, has tended to spoil things for the Giants fans with 3 home runs. The first 3 home run game here at Pacific Bell Park comes in the first game, and it's certainly not from a source that anybody was predicting it would come from.
Well, I don't think you can predict that the 8th spot in the lineup is going to come up with 3 home runs. I'm sure it's happened someplace in time, but I don't know who did it. And to do it on an opening day, I'm not sure Elster will ever forget this one.
So here's Shaw to face J.T. Snow. Ball 1. Now Shaw's been in 2 ball games. He saved one of them, and he blew the save in Montreal in the other. In a game where Mark Bresolanic booted a double play ball behind him. J.T. Snow 0 for 2 with a walk. Todd Hollinsworth stays in the game to play left field in place of Gary Sheffield. So Shaw is inserted into the 4th spot in the Dodgers batting order.
Shaw's got a good cutter, good cut fastball, one of the best in all of baseball. Real hard late movement, averages about 91, 93 miles per hour on it. See that movement just sort of works its way in to the left-handed hitter. It's tough to get that ball on the sweet spot of the bat. I mean, that ball works its way up the bat if you're hitting from the left side of it.
Check the swing. Dodgers appeal to Jerry Lane, the third base umpire, to no avail. 3-1 to JT. The Giants need JT to get on base here. They're down by 2. That would make Rich Aurelia the possible tying run. Aurelia, who's had some success against Shaw in the past. 3-1 the count. That one is hit high and deep. Right field, green to the wall. Gone! Home run, J.T. Snow, and it's a 1-run game. Well, it did not reach McCovey Cove, but maybe it reached J.T. Snow's porch.
The snowpack. Larry Baer, Peter McGowan, loving life right now. I'd like to see it again. But Shaw worked himself to a 3-1 count. Did not want to walk Snow. He challenged him on a 3-1. The ball cut right back over the middle. See ya.
And now the crowd still on its feet as Rich Aurelia comes up. 6-5 LA. Aurelia backing out of the box for a moment as J.T. Snow congratulated by his teammates, and there's his old Yankee roommate Russ Davis talking about it with JT.
Get the scout report. What'd you hit? A cutter. Ball worked right back into him, and he beat Shaw's best pitch.
Just missing on the outside.
3-1 count. Ball comes right back to him, and JT's got some pop now. I think he knew this one right out of bed, too.
1 ball and no strikes to Aurelia. That is a foul ball. And so Beltre was hugging the foul line. The idea being that no ball should get past him unless it's a foul ball. That was just barely foul.
I really take a long look as he's walking back to the batter's box. I think he felt that ball hooked over the bag. That's all it's got to do is go over the bag. It doesn't have to land in foul territory.
1 ball, 1 strike. Really has hit the ball hard a couple of times today. He ripped a liner to left, caught by Sheffield in the second, then ripped a liner for a double down the left field line in the fourth. He grounded out his last time. 1 for 3. Down the left field line, hooking, and that is foul. 1-2 the count.
And right now, Shaw's not fooling anybody, and he's missing pitches up in the strike zone. And he's off the mound right now, having a little inventory recheck by himself.
Doug Mirabelli on deck. Rich Aurelia, who has 1 home run this year, and that was a dramatic one. A 9th inning home run in Miami last Wednesday night, with the Giants trailing, that turned into a game winner. The outfield deep and straight away. The infield all spread out. 1-2 the count. Popped up. Hundley battling the sun. Hansen comes over to take charge, and he makes the catch. 1 away. And now another guy who has hit the ball real hard today. The first triple at Pacific Ballpark, hit by this guy, Doug Mirabelli, to the deepest part of the ballpark in right center, and then he launched a spectacular, towering home run deep into the bleachers his last time. Slider for a strike on the outside. Armando Rios is coming out into the on deck area to back for the pitcher. 1 out, 1 in, 9th inning. The Giants still down by 1. Hammered and caught on the wall, on the warning track in front of the wall by Todd Hollingsworth.
Wow. You cannot hit the ball any harder than that. Right on the nose. Mirabelli really has looked good all day. The little hanging slider right there, middle in at the belt, smothered it.
They're still waiting out there in the bay for one. Nobody's been able to go into the water yet. Armando Rios now, the Giants' last hope. And Rios, who 2 years ago hit a pinch hit home run against the Dodgers in 2 straight games. In his 2nd and 3rd major league at bats in consecutive days as a pinch hitter, he hit a pinch hit home run each day. Armando Rios hitting .429, 3 for 7 this year. Off the outside.
He worked the outside part of the plate now, trying to take some of the power away from Rios. Get this part of the game, you got a 1-run game going. If you're on that hill, you don't want to make a mistake middle in where a guy can pull you to his strength field. And that's why Shaw's working away again.
Well, this time he chased it.
Well, Rios has got power that way. The important thing is, though, he can't go up there and think home run. He's got to think put a good swing on the ball. Early in the count, you know that bat's going to go away from him, so you could get out there and you can give yourself one advantage knowing where the ball is probably going to be. You adjust with 2 strikes, but until you get there, look away.
Staying out there. 2-1 to Rios. 2 down. Nobody on. Last of the 9th. The Giants are trailing 6-5.
Armando's not a tall guy, and he stands in the batter's box way off the plate. You think you got that big hole in the outside part, but he dives in there.
Right to second, Grzelcyk. And the ball game is over. The Dodgers have won it. So too much Kevin Elster and just enough Jeff Shaw at the end. Shaw, who did not have a whole lot of stuff, nonetheless survives it. And the Dodgers have taken the first game here at Pacific Bell Park, 6-5. Stay tuned. We've got more coming up here on opening day in San Francisco. LA over the Dodgers, or LA over the Giants, 6-5.
With gas prices the way they are, we'd like to take this moment to add a helpful little reminder. The very fuel-efficient Civic from Honda. Now get special financing as low as 4.9% APR for 36 months on all new Civics.
More brands, more parts. Regan, the place to start for parts.
Dad, how much is a lawn sprinkler? Who's pitching tonight? What's his record? Dad, how many moons is Jupiter?
How long has this been going on?
Please, not another question.
Here, the Sprint PCS wireless web gives you the information and answers you need.
Isn't that chicken a little burnt?
Check stocks, sports scores, shop, all online. And all the calls are crystal clear.
What about friends? What about
Ricky,
Philly?
lawn
What
sprinkler,
about Milwaukee?
$15.
What about...
And some people wonder why I do this.
Experience the power of the Sprint PCS wireless web.
6 runs, 12 hits, 1 error for LA. 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Giants. Park the winner, Reeder the loser. Shaw gets the save. The Dodgers beat the Giants 6-5. And there was a day of firsts, of course, here in the first game at Pacific Bell Park. And for the Giants in their own ballpark, Bill Miller got the first hit, a single. Barry Bonds got the first double and first RBI, driving Miller in. Then in the second inning, Doug Mirabelli at the first triple, and in the third, Bonds hit the first homer. And those first 4 hits they hit for the cycle in that order. Miller with 1 out in the first inning got the base hit. Next up was Barry Bonds. This is the first pitch Bonds saw. A double into the corner. The Giants had their first run on the board. And Doug Mirabelli, the last man you'd ever expect to get the first triple at any ballpark. Got the first one here, and it was a stand-up. And then Bonds hit the Giants' first home run. That was in the 3rd inning. So there were plenty of moments to remember, but especially so for Kevin Elster, who hit 3 home runs to ruin the day for the Giants, driving in 4, and the Dodgers won it 6-5. We'll have more in a moment.
Your website's going to be set up like an MMDS gigabyte with a rotating geostationary satellite. We feel that both you and your customer will appreciate binary riddles that users love. You know, that's part of the fun. Then wait till you guys see this. The technology will be obsolete by the time we leave here today, but that's okay because we'll come back.
Who designs your website is up to you. Hooking it up and delivering the goods, leave that up to us.
Of course you ship everything FedEx.
FedEx, be absolutely sure.
Now for a CHW sports tip.
Don't ignore pain above the heel that occurs with running, jumping, or rising on the toes. This is Achilles tendonitis, an inflammation or irritation of the big tendon in the back of the lower leg. Getting rid of the problem requires that you rest until pain-free, and then strengthen and stretch the attached calf muscles.
This health moment brought to you by the doctors and hospitals of CHW and their centers for sports medicine.
His mom was trying to talk him into renting the more traditional look. He, of course, was leaning the other way. After all, it was his prom, and it was Melinda. So instead of a bow tie, it was a button cover, and a vest instead of a cummerbund. As for Mom, we can only say this. It's not what he's wearing that you should be worried about.
Tuxedo rental at the Men's Warehouse.
You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
My seats are a mess.
gum, markers, sticky spray. Have you seen this spray that flies through the air and adheres to anything? Some kind of goo. I don't know what it is either, but it isn't pretty. So I'm a mess on the inside, but my engine is clean because I use Chevron with Techron.
No gasoline cleans your engine better than Chevron with Techron. Chevron, simply smarter.
Working with kids is my calling, and I enjoy it.
Pacific Bell Park, down at the corner of 3rd and King in San Francisco by the marina. There's McCovey Cove out behind it. The Dodgers beat the Giants 6-5 in the first ballpark. And stay tuned now. After the ball game, after we're finished, we've still got a big post-game show upcoming on the Giants KTVU Fox 2 television network. So a lot more baseball coming your way from Pacific Bell Park. I'm John Miller with Mike Krukow, and a lot of memories from this first ball game. But as we recount some of the firsts and some of the great moments here today, and not all of them occurred during the game. A lot of great moments before the ball game. For the Giants, though, a recurring problem which haunted them in that first road trip, and again today, they're having a hard time going to their bullpen and keeping the other team off the board.
And they're having a hard time getting the third out of the inning, and they're having a hard time getting the base hit with 2 outs. So it's the 2-out scenarios that it's sort of dogging them right now. I mean, but today was an exciting game. It was good. It was going according to script till Kevin Elster screwed it up. How do you figure the number 8 hitter is going to hit 3 home runs? But when it happens, you just have to tip your hat and say, well, what a great day the guy did have. That was the difference in the ball game. A couple of, and you look back at the one scenario, and Ron Simmons pointed out when he was on the broadcast briefly, there was a 1-out situation with runners at second and third. Doug Mirabelli up, and the Dodgers were going to relax their middle infielders and give up the run. Mirabelli could not capitalize by hitting a ground ball to the middle part of the infield, getting a run in. He struck out, Reeder struck out. The Giants came up with a big donut for that inning, and in the top half of the following inning, the Dodgers put 3 on the board, and it was the 8-9 spots, or the 7-8 spots rather, that produced the runs. There was a runner get on in front of Elster. He hits a 2-run bomb, and the Giants lose the lead. That was the difference in the ballgame.
Yeah. So for the Giants, a disappointing finish here, but obviously it looks like we're going to have a lot of fun days and nights in this beautiful new ballpark. The big crowd, and unlike years past, I have a feeling tomorrow night we're going to have another big crowd for game 2. 6-5, the Dodgers defeat the Giants. We'll be back with more.
Chuck, it's Rennie. I'm stuck. Call me back. Rennie, we're doing shadow puppets. Call me. Chuck! Rennie, call me back. You just left me a message. I'm not going to touch my phone. Call me.
Tired of phone tag? Nextel's the only national wireless carrier with Direct Connect, a digital two-way radio feature. So, instead of reaching Chuck's voicemail, you can actually reach Chuck. Nextel, how business gets done.
Combat Rangers. They're rough, they're tough, they're battle-tested. They're lean, mean fighting machines. When there's a battle to be won, Combat Rangers get the job done. Making backyards safe for democracy.
Now, tell me why they're wearing dresses.
The commander uniforms didn't arrive from China.
That's because you picked the wrong shipping company.
Next time, use the only U.S. Express shipper with direct routes from China, FedEx. Be absolutely sure.
Matching night vision tiara sold separately.
I'm serious. Whenever guys find out I have a cat, they freak.
You kidding me? I love cats.
Of course, my cat's not like other cats.
Well, sure he isn't.
He gets so jealous if anyone drinks my Bud Light. Anyway, I'll go get changed.
You're right. Stupid cats.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down.
Oh, look at you two.
Make it a Bud Light.
Pacific Bell Park, San Francisco Giants baseball of the 21st century, and after all of the blood, the sweat, the tears, the hard work, it opened today, and in every way save one, a triumphant first day for this beautiful new ballpark. Peter Gammons of ESPN, the top baseball writer in the country for a long time, pronounced it in one of his columns here recently, that this is going to be the best ballpark. It will be recognized as the best ballpark ever built. And so with great expectation, it opened today, and the Dodgers kind of spoiled it for the Giants. But I think, Mike, for those who've been going to the Stick all these many years to watch Giants baseball, to come here to see a ball game is like nothing that's ever been experienced before. It's just a whole different experience for sure.
Well, Vince Scully was talking about the ballpark comparatives, Candlestick to Pac Bell Park, before the game, and he said, you know, when you went to Candlestick, it was almost like you were going to Candlestick and you were kind of waiting to go someplace else because it felt like an interim ballpark. It didn't feel like the true home of the Giants. And he said, today, as you could emulate, the Giants have found their home. And I think back to what Peter McGowan said last night at the Founders' Dinner, and a very emotional night for everybody involved. And he said the Giants have come to San Francisco to stay forever. And being an ex-player, it just locked me up because, hey, all the things that we did as players in the Giants uniform now are going to be linked to the anchor, which is the team that's going to stay here. It's not going to go to Tampa. It's not going to go anyplace else. And that's what this ballpark represents to me.
Well, and I think for a lot of people as well. And in this city, I mean, this great city, this world-class city that people travel from around the world to see the vistas and the great sights in San Francisco, to take their pictures, to be photographed with those sights in the background. So it's tough to impress people in this city. And, you know, in a way, we who live in the area are almost kind of jaded by things. But obviously, I think from what we've seen the last 10 days since those exhibition games and right up through today, everybody's excited about this ballpark, and everybody seems to be very proud of it. I mean, it is a great addition to the landscape here in San Francisco. And for me, I mean, we're still talking baseball here, but the beauty of this ballpark is that it's the quintessential San Francisco ballpark and San Francisco experience. You can come to see Major League Baseball and see all the views for which the city is so famous all at the same time.
Yeah, and don't forget, tonight starts another tradition that once you come to the ball game, you watch the game, everything's great, you love the park. Now you get to go and hit the streets and go to the city, the greatest city in the country. So that's one thing you didn't do when you were at Candlestick. I mean, you went home. But here, I think I might go and have dinner with my family and hit the streets a little bit.
All right.
Sounds good.
So now the Giants looking to their first night game here at Pac Bell Park. Now, they played a couple of exhibitions that were in the nighttime here. So they've experienced the ballpark under those conditions. The Dodgers have not. And they look to their young Joe Nathan to be the stopper as they've lost now 3 straight.
Well, tomorrow, and you can say this for the next half year, until they've seen all of the weather conditions, they really are not sure as to how this park's going to play. And the one thing that they're concerned about, I'm sure, is how the ball carries. Today, there were 6 home runs hit in this ball game. Well, obviously, the ball was carrying pretty well. How it's going to carry tomorrow night in the night game with the more prevailing winds that they'll see on a regular basis, we don't know yet. It'll be very interesting to find out as the good book Pac Bell unfolds page by page.
All right. So tomorrow night, the ball game will be carried on the Giants Fox Sports Net starting at 6:30. For the pregame show, 7:05, the game time, also heard on the Giants KMBR radio network. And we'll be back with you on KTVU Fox 2, the Giants television network, Thursday night at 7:30 for the series finale. Now stay tuned on KTVU for highlights, interviews, and much, much more as Mark Ibanez, Vida Blue, Joe Fonzie and company bring you a special post-game report to take you right up to the 6 o'clock news here from Pac Bell Park. So thanks very much for tuning in today. The Giants beaten by the Dodgers 6-5. And again, so many moments to remember, both before the game and during the game, in the first game of this beautiful new yard. Now for Mike Krukow and Ted Robinson, a special thanks to Lon Simmons who joined us. This is John Miller from Pacific Bell Park. And again, remember, there still are some tickets available for games later on in the summer. Check it out. Get your seats right now because everybody wants to check out the action here at Pacific Bell Park. The Giants defeated by Kevin Elster and the Los Angeles Dodgers 6-5. Only 80 home games to go here in the 2000 season.
Today's game was brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines. Log on for low fares at southwest.com, a symbol of e-freedom. By Honda. Test drive the reliable Honda of your choice at your Honda dealer today. By Craig & Auto Parts, the place to start for parts. By Charles Schwab. When we created a smarter kind of investment firm, we also created a smarter kind of investor. By State Compensation Insurance Fund, and by Budweiser, who salutes America's designated drivers. Join us on Thursday when once again the Giants take on the Los Angeles Dodgers. This has been a Fox 2 Sports Exclusive.
When Peter runs for office, will a shocking past be revealed?
I remember when I first noticed girls starting to develop.
All new Family Guy.
Tonight at 8:30 on Fox 2.
20 minutes late.
Introducing GTE Wireless Mobile Internet Services.
They're all so nice.
Yes, they're all quite lovely, aren't they?
That one. Excuse me.
More than just the internet on your phone. It's the information you want.
Wait.
Right when you want it.
Give me the big one. Come on.
Weeks?
GTE Wireless Mobile Internet Services. Network provided by Lucent Technologies.